Boo. Boo. He's not here. Boo. Boo. Oh, there he is. Hey, hooray.
What are you crying about now?
The Invisible Cup. Hey, everybody. Welcome
Hi.
in to Dig on America. This is Jason Dutch. That is Mikey Famine. We are the channel brought to you by the good folks at the Bilderberg Foundation, the Clinton Foundation, and I think Starbucks.
Don't forget lizard people.
Right. If it's bad, it's probably our sponsor.
The Reptilian Overlords Corp.
Yes. What's up, man? How are you? Anna will be joining us, I think, shortly. But in the meantime,
I'm trying to find room for all of the stuff from the baby shower. Thank you again to everybody who participated in the registry.
I didn't know that you had that. I didn't get a chance to donate.
Oh, the baby's not here yet, so keep it coming. But
I think
it's
that
a lot of
what
stuff.
I think that what I would probably do is send you about 300 or 400 diapers, because you're going to learn very quickly that they go very, very quickly.
Yeah, I would plan on having my diaper party for like my half birthday or something in February. So I'm going to do a little registry so people can, even if you're online with me, if not in person with me, you can get drunk, smoke some weed, and buy me some diapers for the baby because I'm going to need them. And then on the registry, I'll have different sizes. A lot of people bought us the newborns and the ones, and I'm just like, I get they're going to go through a lot at that time, but it's going to suck when we have 7 cases of size 1 and the kid doesn't fit them anymore.
Well, what size do you wear? The baby, by the time the baby, yeah. You're in like a 24 months, right? So a couple years you guys will be able to share.
24T.
Okay. Well, not long before you guys will be sharing.
Yeah. But until then,
Well,
again,
what
we got
what
we're
size
still gonna
face diaper do you wear?
Again, we're still gonna have all these size 1s extra, and that's the problem that I'm trying to avoid.
I can't believe that you're wearing a face diaper. You are such a cuck.
Remember when they used to make fun of you for having like cartoons on your underwear? And now cartoons on underwear are like the coolest thing ever. Everybody they wouldn't dare wear some underwear without Tasmanian Devil on it.
You know
what's right out of school for that.
You know what's funny is I was watching I'm telling you, Bluey is the best fucking show ever, right? So like I don't know if you guys have ever watched Bluey, if you have little kids that are that age. But like they did like a flashback episode where the dad is like talking about something he did when he was a kid, and he's like, "It was the 80s, mate." And it's like, we didn't. And he's like, "I'm riding my bike," and the kids are like, "Dad, you're not wearing a helmet," because you're watching like the flashback, you're seeing it, so somehow the kids know that he wasn't wearing a helmet. Like, "It was the 80s, mate. We didn't wear helmets. We just went down the block when we had to, and all of our underwear had cartoon characters on it." And I was like, yeah, that's right. Underoos, man. Used to fucking have the Superman underoos, the Batman underoos.
Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, if you were of that age.
Yeah, that stuff was after me. But
I get it. You feeling some FOMO about having Power Rangers underwear. It happens. Everyone has a little FOMO.
Yeah, but everybody wanted the Red Ranger.
Tripping.
You get
a mastodon came out of a mountain.
I was going to say
me right now. And he could break dance, and he had long hair. Pfft, please, coolest fucking Power Ranger by far. And he only had 9 fingers.
Did he?
Yep.
So he had only 1 thumb.
He only had 1 middle finger.
So he couldn't flick 2 people off at the same time.
Nope, they'd have to imagine the other one.
Oh. I went to the bar yesterday, And I met a friend of mine who I've been seeing like 4 years, and we went to a bar down in Anaheim.
What's up,
And
Omar? What's up, Jonathan?
what's up, guys? And we were sitting at the bar, we were sitting there talking, and then Backstreet Boys comes on, right? So the couple next to us starts singing the Backstreet Boys, and we're like, oh geez. And then all of a sudden, from the corner of the bar, we hear someone singing, a group of people singing, I Want It That Way. And they're singing it like just at
It's a
11, you know.
it's a powerful song.
It's quite the ballad. They're singing it at 11, like yelling it, and people are like cheering as they sing it. And then,
beautifully written.
right. And I look over and we're like, those guys aren't Americans, right? So they're Germans. They came here for soccer to watch their soccer team play. And
To watch
so
the
we went
soccer
over
team
there.
smash the shit out of us. Go ahead.
I'm sure.
We're
But
definitely losing to Germany.
but they it's not like the German national team. It was like a German team, right? But they
I
came to
stand by
like
what I
play
said.
College of Orange County or something like that. So I'm sure it was like basketball score to nothing.
Pile drove them into the fucking grass like lawn darts. Speaking of the 80s.
But so we started talking to these guys, and we had a really interesting like 2 hour bar talk, right? Like, we're drinking and like talking shit, but then they were asking us questions about like America. And my friend Ari, who I was with, is very liberal. And so we're like, the one guy comes outside and he's like, what is it with America and all of the divisiveness? And I said, I'm going to give you guys a really good example. So, and I found it astonishing, these two, I think there was two of them that were there for this part of the conversation. And I found it astonishing, like the look on their face when I said this. So I was like, let me give you an example. I'm like, so you guys, a while back, you had the Nazis, right? And they both go, oh, no, like, we don't acknowledge that. Like, that was a long time ago. That's not us anymore. We're not Nazis. And I was like, I know, but let's pretend that you had a certain percentage of people in your country who were like, no, it was totally fine, and we should make that sound like a good thing. They'd be like, and they looked at us and they were like, why would someone do that? I said, exactly. That's why you have problems in America, because you have a certain percentage of this population who wants to take bad shit, sprinkle, sprinkles on it like a donut, and then serve it to you for consumption and say, oh yeah, it's totally fine. And so we were having all of these and I just found it like so interesting the way that they were talking about like how they teach their history. I'm like, do you guys learn about that in school? He's like, oh yeah, we teach it all the time. We learn about what we did wrong and what we've done to, as far as like reparations and stuff like that, and as far as like, how the government has tried to like atone for those sins. And I'm like, man, it would be nice if America fucking did that, like, ever, like one time. And then we go inside, and I'll land my plane on this story here. Then we go inside.
You like that phrase now, don't you?
And I don't know that I've said that before, but
when you're playing,
yeah, is that something I've said before?
You're starting to pick it up, just like two things can be true. Like it's. I'm noticing a pattern. That's all. Just noticing a pattern. You're on notice.
I will make sure that I limit my vocabulary to things that you approve of.
I'm just saying, I just wish you would spice it up is all. It's getting a little stale around here, Dutch.
So I'll spice it up for you. I'll spice it. I'll
get a little paprika up in there.
I'll put a little paprika and some donut sprinkles up on there, and then you'll be super happy to hear about how slavery was good and was like,
not the shitty
slavery was
good
candies for people, as I put paprika on top of it and I say serve it up to you. But but we go inside, and then the girl, like there was one girl who was with them, and shouts out to her, right? Because she subscribed to the show while we were sitting there on YouTube. But she's like, oh, but you guys, you vote for Donald Trump, right? I was like, no, we don't vote for Trump. She's like, but Trump is very good. When all of the guys who are around her, they all go like this. And I'm like, oh, there's always one. So she was like, Obama sucks. Obamacare sucks. And we're like, Obama, look, Trump had economy, good economy, Obama economy, bad economy. I was like, you listen to the American news, don't you? And I went to the guys. I'm like, this is why we have problems, because people get different narratives.
Deport that girl immediately.
It was,
get her out of here.
Then she's like engaged to one of the guys there, and she's like, oh, he doesn't care about politics. I'm like, that's very good for him, because if he was, it's not going to work. You keep saying things that aren't true. But it was just the cultural differences and stuff like that. Like, you know, because he was even saying, like, your Democratic Party, one of the guys even said, like, your Democratic Party here, he goes, you know, it's not like super liberal. I was like, you don't say. Like,
it's Democrat, not liberal.
It's Democrat. But
they're their own.
But yeah, so it was interesting. But yeah, that was my week. I've been so busy that I haven't had a chance to do any like history digs tonight. So we'll let Mikey engineer conduct the train here.
So speaking of blowout victories, I'm surprised your sports radar didn't just like feel a tremor in the force. The Nets gave up 153 points in ugly blowout loss to the Kings. Now, let me say something. I liked the Nets because I'm a Kevin Durant stan. I like him. I think he's awesome. Fight me in the comments. I don't care. Kyrie has been doing his thing. Ben Simmons won't shoot the ball for some reason. So KD goes out there and he does what he normally does. 25, 11, and 8. Something regular. When I tell you that it was 153 to 121, you want to talk about bang for your buck. Sacramento was losing. They must have been losing their damn minds. This is the best game in Sacramento Kings history. So almost 300 points. And the worst thing is it was tied at 40. And then just no one decided to play defense. It's the biggest lead that the what's it called has ever gotten. The Kings have
Can you
ever
make it a
gotten
little
anybody.
bigger? Because all I see is the ads.
Ooh.
There we go.
There we go. Let's scroll down. Yeah. With the score knotted at 40 all early in the second quarter, the Kings went on a 29-4 run. And the Nets lost much of the positive energy that Coach Jacques Vaughn had been working to instill since replacing the fired Steve Nash. That was another thing that we haven't talked about because we haven't been doing sports. Steve Nash read his papers.
You know, last time I watched an NBA game, when you played a clip of one on the show, like maybe a year ago. I've been so over the NBA since you probably know this. Like I know what's going on. Like I pay some attention to like the news stories with the NBA. Like, so I know like that the Bulls had a hot start to the season. I know that much. But I really wrote off basketball after the Derrick Rose debacle. You know, that's just with his whole injury and like that Thibodeau not pulling him out of that game back in, what year was that? 2011 or something like that. I don't remember what year it was. It's been a long time now when we had Joakim Noah and Boozer, overpaid for Boozer.
Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler. Rose.
Yeah, Jimmy Buckets. And like
back Rose when Jimmy's hair was short.
Back when Jimmy's hair was short, yeah, because it's definitely not the same anymore. But like I
know them fake dreads, they made him take them out. He can't play with those. They made him take them out. He's got like the cornrow look again. I
didn't know that they were fake dreads. But
like you came grown dreads in the off season. That's 10 years of hair that boy got overnight.
You got some NBA comment there.
Let's hear. Nash is a great example on how being a highly skilled player with tremendous basketball IQ doesn't necessarily mean you'll be a good coach. Exactly. Just like Jordan trying to be that player coach and then trying to run at he's terrible at it. He's terrible at it. Just because you're the best server that your restaurant's ever seen doesn't mean you can't cook a look. You can't. That don't mean that you can cook.
See, that would be something that would make me want to watch the NBA. Is like, I loved Kevin Nash. I loved, like
Or
Bill
Steve
Cartwright
Nash,
and a lot of the other Kevin Nash. Yeah, Steve Nash. Thank you. I
the
loved.
wrestler. You like when the wrestler was out
I
there?
did. I did love.
And
I
his,
did love Kevin. I did love Kevin Nash also, but I also love Steve Nash, and the teams that he was on with the Suns back then, where I think it was him and Chambers and a couple other guys. Those were fun teams. What was it? Kevin, what was the point? Kevin,
point guard. Oh, you're talking about Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Smith, Kevin Johnson. Yeah.
KJ.
Yeah. I'm going back into like the day now because I honestly haven't watched basketball at all. Like I know like that people, I know there's been movement. Like I know who's good and who's bad for the most part, but like I miss watching basketball at some times. And then like whenever I see the clips like on the news, I'm like, maybe I should tune into a game, and I just don't. I watched my football. I didn't, how many innings of baseball I watched all season? Like 3. I used to be a guy who would watch every single Cubs game. I would DVR the Cubs games while I was at school, and because they started at 1:20. And I would, after DVRs came out, of course, or before they came out, I'd listen on the radio. And like, I did not miss baseball. I did not miss basketball. I watched every single Bulls game from probably 1988 until 2010, 12 ballpark. Every single Bulls game. Obviously, there were games that I missed, so I'm somewhat exaggerating. But, I was there. I was watching everything. I followed it in the off season. And now the only sport that I do that for now is the NFL. It's the only one I make time for. And like the NFL is a great product. Like that game with the Bills and the Vikings last weekend was one of the great football games I've ever seen. It was just a ridiculous game. Go check that guy out. Find your hot girls.
Who's
but like
in the chat, Lamar? Let me see. I got it.
But anyway, I just don't know how to get myself back into basketball. Like I don't have cable. I don't have time. I barely have time for this, and I'm always looking at like adding content for this show or for my Friday show or trying to help Lauren out with his Sunday show. Or,
Dutch,
looking at other and reading articles, all that sort of stuff. I don't know what to do.
You gonna pass the ball, Kobe, or you just gonna dribble all the air out of it? Can I get in on this?
No, not interested.
Pass the rock, big homie. Let's have a conversation, shall we? I will say right now is one of the better times to get back in because we're only like 10, 12 games in. All of the good teams are bad. All of them. The Lakers.
You mean
are
like
trash.
The historically good teams?
The Lakers are trash. Well, it depends on how far you want to go back because the Knicks haven't been good since Ewing. Like I don't know, like how far back you want to go. But the Kings are good. Like random teams are good. Like OKC is really good with these teams with no stars at all. No, nobody even going to get a nod for the All-Star break, but they're beating really good teams. Like I think Sacramento gave it to fucking Golden State. Like unnatural teams are winning. So it's interesting again. I would hop back in. Hello, Miss Anna.
Hello, Attorney Anna.
Hey y'all. How y'all doing?
You sound great.
I'm actually not. I just got off of work and I got, I'm always working. So, but I am great, high energy.
Nice to hear you. Speaking of higher energy, you're just in time.
For what? Oh, Lord. Not some racist remarks. It's every time. Ain't this Southside son? Yep. I already done seen this. I can't wait till we get to the commentary.
Too quiet. Turn it up.
That's as loud as it goes. You'll have to turn your own voice down in your head. It's all the way up.
My voice is always got priority in my own head. Okay.
I really can't hear it for real though.
Yeah.
Is there another source we can get it from?
Let me see. Maybe I didn't do it with sound. It's possible.
It was there, but it was super, super faint.
Yeah, it's really low.
Like
Better?
everybody's a racist at
Yeah, there you go.
Kind of like upset, like kind of mad.
In the video from Thursday, you can see the 13-year-old asking to go to the restroom. Then the conversation took a turn.
I think everybody thinks that they're just not honest about
Hey,
it.
I'm not racist though. I like all types of kinds.
Did I say I don't like people?
People only
You
think
didn't
that.
say-
Wait, so you said you are what? You are
You
racist?
saying you're like
You're
I think
racist?
everybody's a racist at that level.
No.
I was mad.
They cut out the good part. That's not what he said. Anna, you remember what he said? He said something to the effect of he thinks that white people are superior to other people.
He did. So the
And then,
teacher,
and then he's like, everybody should be like that.
yeah, he said that basically everybody should feel that their own race is the most superior, and he feels like that about white people. And then the boy said, "You know, my dad is famous, and I'm going to record this and put this on the internet." And the teacher was like, "Basically, go ahead, then." And now he fired. So
Yeah. Read and rap. I didn't see this video yet, but he says a good comment. I love how the white kids in the back are like, "He ain't with us, bro." No, I want to see if we can find the whole. I'd like to see the whole video.
Let me get
it's
the-
on Twitter. Just type in Southside Son racist. Southside is spelled exactly how you think
Right.
it's spelled.
I'm on it.
SOUF.
No,
Stop it.
that's my
Stop it.
Midwest
Outside
accent.
Son, SON or UN?
SON. This is like his child.
Deep down.
questioning their teacher.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
Type in full video too.
not
Yeah.
honest about
Hey,
it.
I'm
So I just typed in Southside Sun full video. Is that what I'm putting in?
Teacher or something like that.
Hold on. I'm not finding that. Is Southside Sun a person
Here.
that you? Oh, here
got
it is. Jacob Rorden, Southside Sun.
I got it.
Person has 1 follower.
It's on the screen already, Dutch.
All right.
Down in my heart, I'm ethnocentric, which means I think my race is the superior one.
There you go. There's your hot sound bite. And then it just kind of goes on. It's only about a 30-second clip. It's not that long. But yeah. So Dutch, don't be out there substitute teaching as a Earl Trucker, Confederate Trucker, whatever his name is.
Now, listen. Okay, now
See,
he is very correct. There's nothing wrong with us whiteys telling you that we are superior, because that only shows I love my own peoples, okay? And I love my people because they are the people that I have.
My
And if I
question
was-
is, why do y'all feel comfortable doing this, knowing these kids gonna put y'all on the internet? Like, even
No.
if you feel like that,
you know,
even if you feel
badass
like
little
that-
black kids is about.
wanna talk to
fucking
Earl?
light you up? No,
You could talk to Earl about it. Earl's
Earl-
always now listen, I'm gonna tell you why. Because the black people will always say that they're Afrocentric, that they're pro-black, and that they are all about Black Lives Matter, which is a terrorist organization. And if I just say I prefer white people instead of prefer black people, then people will tell me that I'm a racist. But if you guys say I prefer to be in the company of my own people, then you are told that you are wonderful people. And for this reason, I will storm the Capitol.
read and
of-
rap, the kids was roasting him. I noticed that. They like, bro.
Speaking
There's
of-
my hero.
No,
My
that
hero is on the screen.
was not the end. It was only the beginning of our fight to rescue the American dream. And it's a word you don't use. 2 words. I don't want to be Joe. It's 2 words. America.
What's up with his ears? I just realized one ear is doing something totally different than the other ear.
It's the haircut.
Look,
part
look at his
Vulcan.
lobe. Look at his lobe though. One lobe is way up and way.
Use 2 words. I don't want to be Joe. It's 2 words. American dream.
They stapled it on too high.
That was not good what he did. There are a lot of bad things, like going to.
He did a lot of
Idaho
bad
and saying,
things.
Welcome to the state of Florida. I really love it. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
So I already talked to Tim. Apparently, he can still run for office even though he's incarcerated. There's no rule against it. Unfortunately. But come on, Southern District of New York, make it
Wait.
do what it do.
But how would that be physically possible?
It's happened.
Who has run a
Yeah,
presidential
people-
election from jail?
There's no stipulation. Like, if he
Yeah,
gets
but
the
just
vote,
logistically, like, how are you getting? Like, what are you about to do from jail?
he about to run the country. He about to make America great again. He's gonna start with this cell. Need y'all to go ahead and put some money on the president's books. He trying to get some honey buns and some McDonald's. You know that shit costs extra.
This is about to be just so crazy.
Lamar
the
says
thing is-
Hoover.
So my friend and I were talking about this the other day. Do you all think DeSantis will run? And if so, when do you think he'll start talking crap about Trump? Because for me, and y'all can
Immediately.
correct me if I'm wrong, I just see what I think DeSantis tries not to criticize Trump too much because he still might need those voters. But I just want to know when he's going to get off of that fence and when he's going to fully attack Trump and how the voters are going to.
When McConnell
see
tells him
that.
to run.
But isn't McConnell also being challenged right now? Like, it's up for grabs, right? Everything is up for grabs right now, I feel like, as far as power.
I think there's
McConnell
I
was
think
just
there-
reelected. He's fine.
I think there's a split in the Republican Party.
For the leadership of the not the
They're
actual
not taking
election.
that. They're not taking that away from him. McCarthy is in jeopardy, but not McConnell. McCarthy may or may not become Speaker of the House. McConnell, as far as like being the minority leader of the Senate, that ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
Didn't
That
he just
fucker
get
runs
challenged? They said in the closed doors meeting, was that not him?
I know McCarthy's being challenged. I wouldn't say that nobody would ever challenge McConnell, but there's really no realistic chance to my eye that he would ever actually be replaced. There's always going to be the one guy, but McConnell does a fantastic job for what that party wants to do, which is bad, right? But he is an exceptional villain. He distributes the money exactly the way that it should be distributed if your goal is to destroy America.
He got them
so-
3 Supreme Court justices. Like,
Yeah, and he's a master bullshitter. He's a master technician when it comes to that stuff. He's far more effective in his minority leadership role than Chuck Schumer is in his majority leadership role. Right?
McConnell really got them together. Like, they never on the same page, and McConnell be like, "This is what we gonna do."
Right. McCarthy's different though. Like McCarthy, he's the leader. He's the GOP leader. But I would not be shocked if he is somehow kept from becoming Speaker of the House. The question would be in lieu of whom, right? It is highly possible that you could have Pelosi continue to be Speaker of the House. Because you do not have to be the majority party to be in charge to have the speakership. You could be an independent and be the only person, like, say, for example, hypothetical situation, Andrew Yang, got elected to Congress with the Forward Party, right? He technically could be voted speaker. So it's highly unlikely. It's most likely that McCarthy will be speaker, but it is not impossible that could not happen because Gates, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Boebert, if Boebert wins, which it's still not 100%, it's looking likely, but that she's going to like razor thin, by like 8 votes get in. Which, by the way, go vote. Let that be a lesson to you. that your vote matters. By the by. But I don't see McConnell. You know, you hit the nail on the head when it came to like the Supreme Court justices. 2 of those were on him. One was not. But you know, Kavanaugh was going to get. I mean, you can
But
kinda make
also
a case.
preventing Obama, not even just placing them, but preventing,
Right. So, but that's the thing. Like he's gotten away with that because what he did, if you go back and look at that timeline, was Scalia died, and then, which by the way, I think if I recall, he died like super late in 2015, and then a couple months later, Garland was supposed to go through, and they never even brought him up for a vote because he said, "Oh well, you know, it's unprecedented to do this in a lame duck presidency," which, by the way, is false. It's happened many times throughout American history. So you definitely have to give him, what's his face? Who was the first one that got Neil Gorsuch? You definitely have to give him Gorsuch, right? Kavanaugh that one was orchestrated because they got was it Andrew Kennedy to step down. So
got who to step down?
Kennedy, Justice Kennedy.
Oh yeah, but I thought he
Yeah.
was going to retire anyways.
That kind of came out of nowhere. If you go back and look at the news stories at the time, like nobody was expecting Kennedy to retire. Like at that time, somebody went to him and was like, "Yo, we need to get another justice in here. You're getting a little long in the tooth, so it's time for you to bounce." So that was now Kavanaugh. The Kavanaugh, there was nothing during the Kavanaugh hearings that was like, "Oh, we shouldn't allow this because of timing." His was a completely different thing. His was, "We shouldn't allow you to be on the bench because you like to fucking rape women, or at least attempt to," right? So
Sexual assault, please.
Now we
yes.
got 2 of them on the bench.
And then lastly, Coney Barrett, it was literally the exact same situation. And he was like, "Oh no, there's one detail that's different from that one." And so therefore everything I said last time doesn't matter this time. So he pushed her through too in record fucking time. Like, what was it, Anna? 2 months?
Yeah, but
Between
we
the time
knew he was a
RGB died?
hypocrite, though. We knew he was a hypocrite.
Of course he is. Of course he is. But he's gotten away with it. You know,
I mean, but that's how he keeps his part. Like, one thing about Mitch McConnell, like you mentioned, him being a super villain and good at his job. Oh, he's going to get it done. That's why he keeps being in charge. Like, there's no one better to play these longer games than him. I don't think there's any person in that party that has more stealth than Mitch McConnell, because he could be anybody in the party. It looks like in the comments, though, people want to talk about the new drug policy Trump proposed yesterday. We should play the clip.
I'm not aware of it. I've been out of pocket working.
It's a short clip. It's a short clip. Once you hear it, you're gonna hear all you need to hear.
Well, I see somebody posting something about the death penalty. Is that it?
Also, before
Ollie
we
Man,
switch,
thank you.
Before we switch off of that topic, I wanted to say something. Kobe, Bean Bryant, Jason Dutch over there. I think the Republican Party is trying to find a way to eject the MAGA out of them because it's not working. It was a nice gimmick. It worked for about 6 years, but the midterms just showed that we can't lose the next election because we're trying the same thing that we tried in the midterms and didn't work. So I think DeSantis is still going to run, and I think he will be the cleanser, right? Like he'll be the glass of ice water and the saltine crackers to cleanse your palate. He ain't going to do nothing. He ain't going to be about nothing. he'll just stick to those same old party lines. That douchebag decided to just trample right through. And he'll look calm and sane, and he'll look composed, and he'll look like 1,000 times better than Trump.
And let me add something to that. And this is where we on our side of the aisle need to fight like fucking hell. Because based on what Mikey just said, he will win by a fucking mile in 2024, DeSantis.
Yep.
Right? Like, there are people out there right now giving the Democratic Party a lot of credit for not getting trounced in the midterms and giving this credit to Biden. And they certainly do deserve some of it. But let's call a spade a spade. They beat fucking crazy people by like 1/2 of a point. Okay. This was not like if you were to run Warnock versus Herschel Walker at a private business for like, I don't know, who should run the Christmas program that year. It's not even a close vote. I'm talking about like anything from the most mundane to the most important. Warnock is more competent at every level as a human being than Herschel Walker is. And he beat him by 0.5%.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I just read in Axios, and that's my favorite news publication. But I was just reading in Axios about how all these extremist candidates have not been performing, but not performing by small margins, such to that like you mentioned, the Republican Party is going to have to rebrand. And I think that a few years ago, when people were talking about associating with Trump and how far they should go and whether they should hang their hats on him or not. This is the chickens coming home to roost, because like everybody told y'all what it was going to be. Y'all made the calculation. We would rather have power in this moment than move forward with integrity. Y'all chose the power. Y'all got the power. He did everything everyone said he was going to do.
Yeah.
And now look at y'all. Now y'all have all of these factions of the party forming, and y'all don't know how to control that beast, because what's going to happen? They turn on y'all and then they decide they're not Republicans anymore. Then what? Because that's the next step. Once they start saying like, we're not going to support these extremist candidates. Well, guess what? Trump brought them candidates out. Trump brought these people out. Trump created this. Like that Kari Lake lady. Right? Yeah. Like, she's crazy.
She's bad.
She is crazy. Did y'all see the letter she wrote to Liz Cheney?
It sounded like you said Cardi Lake, like she's related to like Cardi B.
What's up,
Oh,
Cheney?
No, Kari Lake. I'm saying, did y'all see the letter she wrote to Liz Cheney?
Oh, that was so classic. And Liz Cheney was like, "You're welcome."
I'm just like, girl. And for those of y'all who didn't see the letter basically, Liz Cheney, I guess, was running ads in support of Kari Lake's opponent. And Kari Lake took it upon herself to write a letter with her official political letterhead, basically saying, you're giving me a gift by running these ads against me, and the value of these ads, all this benefit to me is going to be more than what you can give in kind contributions. So thank you so much, Liz Cheney. And then Liz Cheney, after Kari Lake lost, quote tweeted her and was like, you're welcome, because that was a silly letter.
You're welcome.
But it's just also like, Kari, baby girl, you was talking real spicy to have never had this job before. A lot of y'all were. And then you didn't even win.
And before you play that real quick, like Kari Lake, as soon as she lost, what do you think her first tweet was?
Isn't it? It was about the stolen. Oh, they were talking about the voters. She was like, isn't it weird that in certain counties, I'm like, so it was a fair election all the way up until you lost. You ain't had no problem with none of the election stuff up until you lost.
No, actually that part's not true, Anna. She was saying election fraud. She's been talking about election fraud since before votes were counted. Right?
So if it's so fraudulent, why are you participating? Why are you participating in the fraud?
Why bother if it doesn't work?
If it doesn't matter, why are you here?
So she, as soon as she lost, she said Arizonans can smell bullshit.
Right. That's why they voted for somebody else.
That's exactly correct.
They voted for somebody else because you're right. You're right, girl. Yeah. Hang it up, flat screen, or whatever Nikki said.
We will wage war upon the cartels and stop the fentanyl and deadly drugs from killing 200,000 Americans per year.
No, you won't.
And I will ask
Yeah, the Chinese fentanyl.
Congress for legislation ensuring that drug dealers and human traffickers, these are terrible, terrible, horrible people who are responsible.
Those were the 3 worst words he could think of.
Yeah.
All
Terrible.
3 of them in a
And
row.
2 of them were the same word.
And 2 were the same word. He didn't know that it would come up so fast. Why pressure me?
For death, carnage, and crime all over our country. Every drug dealer during his or her life on average will kill 500 people with the drugs they sell, not to mention the
Citation needed, please. Citation needed.
He got
And-
it from
and-
UrbanDictionary.com.
I'm just
doesn't even-
wondering where all the weed ODs are.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to do that, because you know what kills drug dealers? Or I'm sorry, you know what kills people who take drugs? Social problems, right? Like the fact that people have things like depression, that they're upset, that they have personal issues, that they have trauma and stress in their life, and things that they are turning to drugs for. That is the reason why you have substance abuse almost across the board. Of course, there's always outliers, right? Like there's always just weird people, but by and large, people turn to opioids and kill themselves either on purpose or by accident with these drugs because of the fact that we don't have appropriate health care in this country. That is one of the main reasons, because we have this. You do not see these problems in countries that have socialized medicine to the extent that you do here. It is similar to the gun epidemic, right? Where you have, you have, we as a country pretend we're so great, and we have these tiny little issues that we could fix with just a simple government program, but people don't want those, and they'd rather blame the boogeyman.
Do you even give legitimacy to what he's even saying in the first place, though? Because I don't
Absolutely
I
not.
don't think this in Dutch, like I hear where you
Yes.
coming from, and I think that's absolutely correct, spot on. I don't think this speech has anything to do with any type of real reform. I don't think
Correct.
this has anything to do with anything. I
course
don't
not.
think he intends to do anything. I think that there are people, particularly rural Americans and increasingly urban Americans, who are overdosing from fentanyl, and they happen to be in his base, and he's throwing them some red meat because, hey, this happened to you. Let's lock them up. And
Yeah.
if that's my kid that, passed, or my sister, brother, husband, father, mother, whomever, you know what? You're right. And that's
But
what
they're-
he's banking on.
Well, what they're good at doing, though, is if you look at the fentanyl conversation, it's not just the fentanyl conversation. And this is the evil genius of Republicans. They tie into it immigration. They tie into it anti-communism by tying it to China, right? They tie into it the fact that Mexicans are coming, that Mexican cartels are going to kill your poor blonde-haired child, right? So they amalgamate all of these social issues into what is a very real problem. But then you look in the wrong direction. What was Hardaway's move called? The killer crossover, right? Or he's shaking and baking. He's like, oh, look over here. The hidden cup trick. This is where the problem's at. You think it's
But
here,
it's just
but
a
it's here.
tangled web of racism. Like, I think every argument that they have is so
Xenophobia.
sick. Oh, yes, I was going to say
Yeah.
it's so circular that it all plays into one big. There's them, and then there's us, and all of these are the reasons that they are them, and all of these reasons that they're us, and we should have more because we're us. Like, that's
Well,
all of it.
Well, let's back up for a second. Let's pretend that all of these people went to college, so they say. Where is the cartel getting its money from? Oh, the sale of illegal drug. Hey, what if we just legalized weed and then they wouldn't have any money? Oh, we can't have. They have the
Gateway
answer. They have the answer to all their problems. The problem is that the black market. The only way to get rid of the black market is to legalize it.
Yeah,
Legalize it and deal with it and deal with the consequences. They're probably not going to be as bad as you think they are, but they don't want to let the motherfuckers out of jail. That's what that is.
That's exactly correct.
They ain't
And
gonna let
just-
everybody free that they already don't locked up. So I'm not letting them out.
And not only that, if we change the laws, what is going to happen to the prison industrial complex? And they lobby. So that's our
will
money.
we keep
in
them
Congress.
full? How will we
Yeah,
keep the jails
yeah.
full if we legalize the drugs? You know what? Let's
Yeah.
just start a war with the cartel on paper. You're not gonna do shit to the fucking car. You remember what happened when they got El Chapo, son?
What
And
happened?
All right, so look,
Not me. What happened?
hold on. So they grabbed him, right? He said he the son of the Don. So he's just like, all right, cool. Hey, you gonna take me over here? All right, cool. They'll get me out in the morning. They're not gonna let me out. You're not going in. This is a government site, right? This is a government lockup. You late. We already played that one. He's
that's the
sitting in
one I
there.
meant right there.
Can I say my
Agreed.
thing? Or can we read it so it's acknowledged?
Yes.
Please go ahead and read it, and then I'll tell you what they done did to El Chapo's son.
The medical industrial complex probably kill more with their prescription drugs than these dealers do. They're all in cahoots.
In cahoots, I tell you.
Cahoots.
So here comes Sunrise. Here come the fucking pickup truck with the 50 cal machine gun belt fed on the back of it. And they destroyed that building and drove off with homie. Y'all,
Wait, do you
keep
remember when they
playing
had them
with
long
these cartels
Do you remember when they broke him out of jail and it was that long, like
motorcycle?
miles long underground tunnel that had telephones in it? I was like,
Yeah.
y'all got telephones in the escape tunnel? Nah, come on,
Yeah,
nah.
he got a
Come
bath.
on.
He got a bathroom in there. He got a Chick-fil-A.
It was
He
a
literally
motor-
had
it
a
was
when
a
I saw the
motorcycle.
telephones, is this a Motel 6? What is
It
going on?
He had a motorbike on train tracks, so you couldn't even follow. He just hot on it, and he was
He had a
was
little
going.
segue.
Who put
Yeah.
this together? And
Y'all
that's
Ollie,
keep
man.
playing with these cartels like they are some sort of game. They don't give a fuck about no. Oh, they're gonna kill your children with their drugs. Yes, you know they're doing a regular motherfuckers
they
in
like
Mexico.
they would kill you
Yeah.
another way. They would kill you either way.
They kill.
That's what
the
they
fuck?
do.
That's what they do.
do. They
So
will
why are
murder
we giving
you.
them? Why are we giving them a financial foothold in the strongest country in the world? Because we're stupid.
And see, I don't understand that because Americans, we like to learn from movies. And during COVID, we all watched Ozark. Now, that was rural people and the cartel in one show. And we saw exactly how that went down. Exactly how the cartel was like, blow your head off in front of somebody else. I bet you ain't going to do it.
I'm just saying. You pick fights
Yeah.
with the cartel, you're not going to win. But he's almost done with his idiotic proposal.
Well, and
here.
real quick, I was going to say, Kukshug B. Anter. I'm trying to pronounce that. I'm sorry. You answered it, but Ollie, man, absolutely. Both is a completely true to your comment of, does the medical establishment kill people with the drugs they're pushing on people or the ones they deny from people? You are precisely correct, Canadian Ollie, man. So well said.
Destruction of families. But we're going to be asking everyone who sells drugs, gets caught selling drugs, to receive the death penalty for their heinous acts.
Oh, the cheers will be huge to that.
Oh, here go Duterte.
Are there any funeral parlors around here? Now's the best time to set one up. I'll supply the dead bodies. Criminals only
And they love his ass.
understand force. If you just talk to them, they don't listen.
You know, there is no crime at all when you threaten criminals with death. In my country, at least, there is no law.
Now, when he says threaten criminals, that usually means like I say I'm gonna do something. He's not threatening anything. He's killing them. He's firing squatting them. It's no threat. You're murdering people.
Which says I cannot threaten criminals. If we do not interdict this problem, the next generation will be having a serious problem. You destroy my country, I'll kill you. And it's a legitimate thing. If you destroy our young children, I will kill you. That is a very correct statement.
That's his best friend. Sorry for y'all in the Philippines. Feeling for you.
I'm feeling for us.
Yeah.
'Cause we over here. It's gonna be great. Listen, and so many of these crazy people gonna come out and vote for him. Like if he makes it to the general,
I think the Republicans are going to get in the way.
Well, that's the whole debate right now, right? And I'm on both sides of the fence at the same time. I really am. Like I'm split. I'm literally hanging. I have the fence post. Of my
I don't want to know where. I
moment.
don't want to know where.
No, but it is.
I don't want to know.
It's chafing me at the moment.
Stop describing it.
I think two things here, not at once, Mikey. You'll be happy to know. I think
I'm sure you're thinking both of them simultaneously.
I am thinking both of them at the same time. That
Come
is
on,
correct,
come on,
but
Dutch,
they're
land
not
your
the
pl-
same.
Land your plane, Dutch. Come on.
I was going to say DeSantis, and I said DePlane.
The plane, boss.
The plane, boss. So, on the one hand, I think that DeSantis is going. If the Republican Party knows that if Trump runs, it's going to be another razor thin election, and they also know that if DeSantis runs, they're going to look and say what happened. See what happened in Florida.
Pause.
And
Pause. I don't think you're talking about the same group of people because Trump's gone now. So
But he's not.
So he's not in office now. So the
Right.
people that are in office now have had to go out and try to win re-elections. And having that Trump stamp don't work like it used to.
That's true. Yeah, the tramp
So-
stamp nor the
I
Trump
agree.
stamp work the same as they used to.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I hear what you're saying, but as you saw from the midterms, they're not going to. There's no boost there anymore.
Well,
because they went
that's
too
the point.
crazy. They went too crazy. So now they got to get back to
we gotta
regular.
reel it back.
But
Yeah.
that's the point, though, is that look at DeSantis versus Trump and what their worldview is. Tell me what they disagree on. They don't disagree on anything. The only thing they disagree on is one main thing. Two main things. One, DeSantis probably believes that if you lose an election, you lost it, where Trump doesn't. And two, in the tact or lack thereof in your regular rhetoric, right? Like DeSantis is going to say hateful shit, but he'll say it not so overtly, where Trump will say it like he says the quiet parts out loud all the time. And when you say the quiet part out loud, the people in the middle are actually able to hear it, and then they vote against it. But if you dog whistle it, the people in the middle are going to say, well, that sounds normal. They've already conditioned them to believe that the Democrats are just as crazy as the Republicans, which is super fucking astonishing. But that's why I'm kind of in two places here, because I think that if the Republican Party is looking right now at what happened in Florida, and they're saying, look, old boy won by like 11 or 12 or whatever it was percentage point. It might have been more than that. It might have been like 14, 15 percentage points. And this after an election against Gillum 4 years ago, where he won by a razor's edge. Okay. And this time the Republicans, now Gillum had obviously a lot of issues in his personal life afterwards that came out. But at the time of his running, Gillum was very, very progressive for the most part. He got more votes. Charlie Crist literally is a Republican. Like, he only turned to the Democratic Party the last couple of years to run for this office. He's a Republican. And that's who the Democrats decided to put up over Nikki Fried, or Fried, or however you say her name. You know, and that's part of the reason why he won, because you had two people with the same platform, one who's more charismatic than the other is, and one who was an incumbent and one who wasn't. So I think the Republican Party is looking at that, and they want DeSantis to run, because they know that if Trump runs and he's the nominee, it's going to be super close. But if DeSantis wins against Biden, especially, blowout city. It's going to be the basketball game that Mikey pulled up earlier, 159 to like 90 or whatever it was. That's what you're going to have. It's going to be a fucking bloodbath.
But do you think that even though the Republicans want DeSantis, I mean, they can't do anything about Trump? Like the
Cults.
power that he has over these crazy
You was
people,
right.
like
Cults. Say
I mean,
the word.
it is,
cults.
but I wasn't using. I wasn't trying to use. I was trying to use a verb right there. That's all.
The cult.
It is, but I'm just saying, like, he's not gonna back down, and there's nothing that they can do about it. So if he beats this,
Right.
dissent, like you said, like, and you correctly pointed out, Dutch, there is not really any difference between DeSantis and Trump as far as ideologies, values, any of the stuff. DeSantis is just being quiet about the crazy stuff. Like, that's really the only difference. But I think that at the same time, yes, all Trump has led to all this extremism. Yes, the Republicans kind of want to oust themselves of that and all the iteration of that. But I don't think that everyone is fully appreciating that you cannot put the tooth back in the toothpaste on these crazy people. And I think there's a real risk or danger. And when I say risk, I mean a risk of exposure to them splitting from the party completely. Because Trump is a person who, he doesn't get his way. He don't mind burning down the house. So he don't mind. Listen, we're independent. We're not part of them. We're not part of them. And then
No,
what?
I don't agree.
He's
Respectfully,
not
I disagree with that.
I agree with that.
If he was going to do that, he would have done it already.
No, he wasn't desperate the first time. The first time he could run as a Republican and they let him. This time they're not going for that, like you mentioned, because they have other people that they can put up. But I think that when he sees that, why do I have any loyalty to this party? There's no loyalty to y'all.
When you put it that way, okay, that's now I'll co-sign for that, because now you're playing to his main characteristic. How dare you confront me, right?
Yeah.
Like so it's but the truth is, and where my argument is based is, after he lost in 2000 and in 2020, like, you know, right around the time of January 6th. If you go back to that time, you'll recall the conversation was, is Trump going to start the Patriot Party? And he was like, nope, we already have a party, right? So my thought on that is, that was his time to do it. He had momentum for that at the time, and he chose not to do it because he knew that it was going to break up the party, and he wants to win. But if it's somebody else in there, though, like if he's not the nominee, then he'd probably blow up the bridge.
But
you know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry.
Like, and let me clarify what I mean here. So at the time, this is where I'm coming from. At the time in 2021, early 2021, Trump was not going to be like, hey, I'm going to start this new Patriot Party, and we're going to position this as the new like further right party, and I'm going to be the nominee for that party, because he knows the Republican Party is not going to go lockstep with that. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, we're not going to run anybody. So that Republican would have run against him, and then he would have lost because of that, the Republican Party running another conservative against him, right? So in this case, though, if he loses the nomination, this is where I think you are correct. If he loses the nomination to DeSantis or someone like else, then he will be like, fuck it, I'm going to run as like this new Patriot Party at the last minute, and then totally sabotage the other guy, and so that he can point fingers and say, oh, look, he couldn't win. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
and it is going to get messy.
Y'all are moving from the premise that he wanted to be president in the first place, because I'm still not convinced of that. I think he ran, and I think he just like, I just have to follow y'all's instructions. All right, Steve Bannon, Stephen Miller. Yeah, tell me what to say. Tell me what to do. Oh, this is working out. Look how popular. This is so much fun. Well, now he's looking for some more of that fun so he can kind of avoid some of this.
No, now he's looking to pretend. Yeah, right.
And
now
you know that money done dried up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the optics.
Your boy Bannon's stuffed suitcases full of that fucking wall money y'all dumbasses sent down there. This is a grift. And I think the Republicans know that this is a grift. They're not falling for it. They're going to go with DeSantis. They're not going to fall for his grift again. He can't conduct business nowhere. He can't get money from nowhere. What? No, dude. Yeah. You got the yokels out there, and you radicalized and polarized a bunch of little white kids. But other than that, man, we're good.
Yeah.
We need somebody we can put on a commercial and put in front of a church without you getting people fucking tear gassed, so you can hold a fucking Bible upside down, screaming out 2 Corinthians, which you dumbass.
But the thing is that he has the base and they don't. He was able to get them to rally around a lightning strike, and they have never been able to do that. And he was able to do that so well that, you know, he was able to influence local elections, just his presence alone. And yes, he doesn't have that same level of power anymore, but the fact that he has even a substantial amount of it still, I think, is extremely dangerous for the part. Like, if you're the rest of them, what are we about to do about that?
I think if DeSantis goes up and Trump starts the Patriot Party, I think people will still vote R. There's not enough of the crazy. There's not enough of the crazies for the Patriot. Because at the end of the day, sorry, Republicans, you're fucking rule followers. You're not leaders. You like everything to be neat and order. You're going to just stick with the party, and you're not going to risk it. Because all somebody has to say is that all someone has to. Well, it's played out. It's played out. When's the last time you saw a Trump flag?
I see him all the time.
You would have to. Yeah, so do I.
Not like before, though. It was
well. You're seeing them replaced by. You're seeing replaced by Let's Go Brandon stuff.
I was gonna say I be seeing that the Let's Go Brandon,
because but they're fewer and far between. The little roaches that got exposed have snuck back underneath the stove and underneath the fridge. They back in hiding, so they're gonna have to vote for somebody to cover their tracks because they got a little tipsy, got Trump up in there, and they started showing ass.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to clean up the reputation. They're going to go back to trying to be this moral majority where they just want to save the babies and protect the board. The same shit that they've been saying for the last 30 years. But they got a lot of shit done with Trump. He was a very useful idiot. They got that Supreme Court tied up pretty good, and he was a perfect idiot for the job.
Mm-hmm.
We got our Supreme Court. What the fuck do we need you for?
Listen.
I want to share this real quick tab with you guys. I just want your thoughts on that because like the shots are already kind of fired here. This is from the prestigious publication called the Washington Examiner. How do I make this bigger? Control function plus sign. There we go. A lot of ads on this page. Sorry. Lara Trump warns DeSantis not to run for president in 2024. Those primaries get very messy and very raw, she says.
Okay. Like, girl, so that's exactly why you should sit there and eat your food. Mind your business. Because last time we saw you, you was screaming on stage and y'all still lost. So hang it up.
Yeah. And she says, she's talking about DeSantis here. So I wonder what you guys are thinking about this. Obviously, this was before he announced yesterday. Lara Trump, quote, I think he's probably waiting, talking about DeSantis, to see what my father-in-law does, she said. And I think he's a smart enough guy to know that it will be great to have all this support of this party of America First, MAGA movement, whatever you want to call it, fully behind him in 2028, and then possibly fracturing it in 2024. So, like, that's actually a somewhat salient point from a crazy woman, because that probably is true, where if he just ran in 2028, he would have, you know, carte blanche to run, and, you know, he'd have a somewhat unplowed path or a somewhat plowed path for him, except for the fact that I think she's forgetting that Trump's going to have a running mate. Who is that going to be? And is that person going to be like, okay, no, I'm the heir apparent?
It's Carrie Lake.
Right?
We already know.
It may very well be.
It could be. She's a woman. She's a beautiful
That's a
woman.
really
She's a
strong
beautiful
possibility.
woman. That's what they try to do to Sarah Palin.
Yep. Except it's going to work this time.
Yeah. So it's
I
just
don't
like
find
it's
Carrie Lake
giving.
to be a beautiful woman. She looks like her
No,
friend, your
I
friend's
have to give her
mom.
her respect. She's a beautiful
She's
woman.
well
When I saw her
preserved.
and I didn't know that she was a crazy person, I was just like, she looks like a powerful woman. That was my first thought about her.
And she's got the news anchor
no,
voice. She talks like
yeah.
she's right
Yeah,
off
I mean, she's
the
not like
news.
ugly, but I don't look at her and I'm like, oh God, she's just so
I think
beautiful.
she's beautiful. I think she's a
Sarah
beautiful
Palin, I
woman.
do. I think Sarah
Sarah
Palin is
Palin
a
is
beautiful
also a
woman.
beautiful
Yeah.
woman. I think that works for them. That
I'll
is
tell
like
you-
the Fox News playbook.
But hold
I'm
on.
a sapiosexual. They're both.
Oh, and you know what? I totally
parents.
forgot about this. I wanted to show you guys this too. I'll tell you who. Hold on a sec. Give me banter for a second about keep going, and I'll
Not
pull this
keep
up because
banter.
I want to show you who I think is going to be the
Stop
running mate.
talking so we can banter. You're a bad handoff. Real
care.
quick. I know you don't care. You don't have to tell me you don't care. Just shut up so we can host with you. Fucking Kobe Bean. Here we go. War in the Ukraine.
Now you changed.
This
topics.
was all.
Bad idea.
Well, then go, Dutch. Go. Jesus fucking Christ. You fucking
I don't want
whiny
to.
Yeah, well,
I
then
wanted you to keep
go.
talking about the same thing because this is still the same topic. Here you
If
go.
only you
Boom.
had gotten
This
your
is
wins
it.
before the show started.
Because I just thought of this now. This
Oh,
is who I think
Tulsi
it's going to be.
Gabbard. I forgot
No.
about her.
No,
The secret agent.
no.
You want to see something funny? I was looking at Tulsi Gabbard's Twitter last night because she had posted something stupid, of course. And you remember like 2 weeks ago, she came out and she was like, Democrats, I want you to follow me away from the Democratic Party and just let's be independent together. You kind of remember that? So
Yes.
if you know how when you follow people on Twitter, like the list is kind of like in order, the backwards order of like when you followed them. So the most
Like
recent
reverse
people are on top.
chronology. Mhm.
Right. So if you look at who she's following, Cernovich, Daily Wire, Myra
Mike
Flores,
Fuck Mike Cernovich.
DeSantis.
Matt Gates, really?
So hold on, just let me know when you see somebody who's like you think. I know some of these people you might not know who they
Please,
are.
please just tell me the answer. I don't know these fucking assholes. Come on, bro.
You don't know who Randy Quaid is?
Never heard of him.
Is that Dennis Quaid's dad?
No, it's his brother. That's Russell Case, sir.
This is what I'm
From,
saying. We're not going to catch your references. We're not 800 years old.
Gina Carano.
Never heard of her.
She was in
Mikey
Mandalorian.
has. Yep.
She was in the
fired from-
lungs.
Thomas
Mandalorian.
Sowell, like a right-wing economist. So Greg Gutfeld.
Why are
she
you
is
showing us this? What is the
Blake Masters. Why am I showing you? Okay, so let me lead you to the water. Every single person that Tulsi Gabbard has been following on Twitter for the last, I don't know what the time frame is. I would imagine it's the last few months here because she's only followed like 2,000 people, is an extreme right winger. So when she goes and she tells you, you know what, all I want you to do is just step away from the Democratic Party and into this independent land. If you're so independent, why is it that over the course of the last X days, you have done nothing but follow extreme right wingers like Blake Masters and
Hey.
Cernovich, etc.?
Hey, Dutch, I'm following you. Do I agree with everything you say?
That's not the point. The point is that's not the point at all.
It is exactly
Okay.
the point.
No, it isn't. It's completely not the point, and I'm shocked that you don't see it. So if you
No, I
start to
get
become
it.
interested in a certain thing, you're going to start following people or pages that have to do with those certain things. If
Follow
you
us.
scroll all the way back into Tulsi Gabbard's, and which I did last night, and I'm not going to do it on screen here because it's boring, but I'll tell you what's there, and you can go fact check me and do this on your own. If you scroll all the way back and you start to go back like 1,000 follows ago from Tulsi Gabbard, she's following people like Bernie. She's following people like, maybe like more middle of the road people like you'd see like maybe a Bill Maher or a Tim Pool. And obviously Tim Pool's not middle of the road anymore, but back when she followed him, he probably was under that guy's, Joe Rogan, etc. And then if you go even further back, it was all like your AOCs and stuff like that. So you can see that she started following people that were, she was moving, her pendulum was moving all the way from where she used to be as a progressive Democrat to now she's a radical fucking right winger. And she's interested in that stuff. She wants to see those views. So she is like, hey, this is interesting to me now. I'm going to start following all these crazy fuckers. You can see the lineage there. It doesn't mean she agrees with every single thing or that she unfollowed Bernie.
But Dutch, we saw her in the debate and she sounded like a Republican.
Yeah.
Right, but she's gone even further since then.
Just because you follow somebody doesn't mean that your politics have moved a certain way. I'm not gonna let you say that.
And also, just because she said she was a Democrat, don't mean she wasn't lying. Like when she showed up in that white suit for those debates, and no one really, I mean, I don't want to say no one knew who she was, but I'm gonna say a lot of people were unaware of who she was. Some of the things she was saying, y'all, we're like, why is she up here? Because she don't even sound like none of the other people on the stage, and it wasn't even like she's going like, and to your point, that's like, yeah, she's going more and more extreme with her message and lying to people and saying because she is Democrat, she's now she's now more middle of the road. Yes, that's a lie, but she's been lying since we met her, or I'll say me. She's been lying since I was introduced to her for real in that white suit. Okay, because when she got up on that stage and the things she was saying, baby girl, you don't agree with nothing they saying. Why are you here?
Her takes on healthcare, on immigration, on
I couldn't even believe she was from Hawaii. Well, I couldn't even believe she was from Hawaii. I'm like, I know the Hawaiians ain't going for this.
She didn't have.
I know they. I don't know how you got up in here.
She didn't used to at least express those views. So either she was fake now, or she's fake then, or whatever. I don't know.
She's just fake.
She just I must say she did what she needed to do.
Head to toe fake.
But I think the point that I'm making with the follows is like, if you were, I'll agree with Mikey. If you were to like say, hey, you know what? The other day she followed Greg Gutfeld. Okay, fine.
A lot of my friends followed Donald Trump, but that's just because they wanted the updates on every time that he tweeted. So a follow isn't necessarily an endorsement.
That is exactly correct. So I would pass off and say, okay, she's going to follow Trump. She wants to see what's going on. I get that. But there's a difference between like a random follow of Greg Gutfeld while also following CBS News and, Pinterest, to one after the other for like 60 or 70 down, extreme right, every single one of them.
And let's also not pretend that she did that on her phone. She has a team.
Yeah.
That's the public account. She got her burner where she likes her cat videos and all that shit. But this is a corporate interest doing corporate interest things. Mm-hmm. I think she's trying to move into the Joe Rogan sphere, and she's gonna try to be the cute Joe Rogan and have her little show and set up her little Patreon and grift.
Make her some money, make her a little bit of coins.
She's just gonna reap in the benefits. She's gonna get out there with her nice tan skin, her olive complexion, and they're gonna lose their fucking minds and fucking shower her with gifts because they're a bunch of fucking simps. But it is what it is. Make your money, queen. Make your money.
Yeah, I liked Tulsi Gabbard.
I'm sure you did.
I did.
You
4 years ago, I was like, you know what?
Hey, that's when she was talking that crazy Republican shit, and you were just like, I don't know, she's real hot though. And I was like, no, she's crazy.
That's what it was.
That's probably
pretty.
I literally said she's fucking crazy, and everyone laughed me out of the fucking room. You and Haas, she's hotter than so and so.
You're correct. No, you're correct. You're exactly. I'm just telling you right now. You're exactly right. You're 1,000% right.
So y'all was able to put y'all political leanings to the side because she was cute.
Well, no, but she also did not push the same ideas that she is pushing now back then.
Yeah, but they were still bullshit back then. Like I said, when I first saw her on that stage, I was like, "What? This gonna be a president potentially?" And then she started talking. Ma'am, you're not making any sense, ma'am. It's not making sense.
I think what happened.
I did think she was a beautiful lady with I remembered. I will never forget that suit because it was sharp. It was very sharp. She looked great.
Like a shop. Like a fountain in frog's head.
I don't know where she looked like she was going to a women's Sunday congregation.
She go to the Met Gala.
No, not the Met, but she looked like she was going somewhere important. And I thought, wow, look at everybody else in their suits, and she got on all white, like she ain't finna get dirty or nothing.
She said, "I don't get dirty.
You better not eat no ketchup, no fries with ketchup."
And when
today.
you don't feel like you can't get dirty.
Hot wings.
when you feel like you can't get dirty because you got on all white, I was intrigued. I'm not gonna lie.
It was a
But
power
then
move. It was a
they start
definite
asking
power
her
move.
questions. I'm like, so she a spy.
she
She's a
incognito.
spy kid. She's a spy
She's in the-
kid.
She's in the
Codename Kids Next
CIA.
Door.
This woman finna steal democracy.
You
help
could
them.
see it. You could see it though, like, and I think what happened with her, and this is why I think she's going to be the VP. I genuinely believe she's going to be the VP for Trump.
How much you want to put on it?
I'll put a bottle of wine on it.
Okay.
If Trump becomes the nominee, and then I think that he'll pick her over Carrie Lake. I think that those are the two, though. I think Anna nailed it. Like, those are the two. Tulsi or her are like, or possibly Nikki Haley, who is also in that same conversation.
Nikki ain't gonna want to run with him. Then ain't one of the last things that he did was try to throw her under the bus before he
Of
left.
course, but they have short memories in the Republican Party.
Yeah, but she already hung her hat on the Trump thing, and that blew up in her face. I don't see her doing that again. I think she is a smart woman that, unfortunately, made the political calculations that were incorrect, and but I think she's fool me once type of situation.
Here, what we'll do is we should have all four of us get our bets in. I'll make like a card. And we'll all fill out our card on who's going to run and who's going to do this. Well, we can't do it just now, but
let's do that. Yeah,
we'll make it we'll make a game
That'll
out
be
of
fun.
it. See who can get closest.
Real quick, Hamazi Goat, thank you for following us. And Radical Disability, I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. So hi, welcome. Sorry we're a little late on replying there, but y'all doing brackets. Yeah, we'll do brackets.
Not the brackets.
Yeah,
we
we'll
should do brackets. Political brackets.
Yes, we have to do brackets.
Reading Rap says about, I believe this is Tulsi Gabbard. Even back then, she had distinguishable positions on issues on the Democratic Party, internal politics, and foreign affairs. Agree. I was like, this is some new stuff, girl. I don't know if I trust it.
And then she was like real cool with Iran, and everybody was like, "Hey, Tulsi,
man, how you got all these connections?"
Tulsi, how you pay for that white suit? Damn it, Tulsi, never mind. Don't tell me.
I'm like,
Please
you got
don't
all
tell
these
me.
connections, Tulsi, baby girl.
She said, "This from the UAE, baby."
Can I just also comment? This Anna, 2 weeks in a row, Anna came on looking comfortable. She's like, you know what?
Y'all, because y'all be thinking I'm playing when I be going to work. I be going to work in the dark and coming home in the dark. And this is how I be looking. Listen, now one thing about me though, I appreciate that, Mikey, because one thing is I don't care how tired I am not going anywhere in public without eyebrows on. I'm just not doing it. And I don't even care. Like, I don't have to have I don't even.
Why'd you shave them off?
First of all, I didn't.
Nah, man.
I just filled them in. It's like how when y'all men just, y'all get that little spray situation around the edges.
What does that hat say?
New Orleans.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if it's a company, we better get some sponsorship dollars from that shit.
No, it ain't no company. The shirt is from college, from literally when I played volleyball in college. This was one of my
Oh, you were a volleyball player?
I was a Division I athlete.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
that
played
makes sense
volleyball.
because you're not short. So
yeah, I played
you was
volleyball.
spiking.
Yeah, I was a middle blocker. So I did that.
I'm not going to front. I don't know all the positions in volleyball.
The big one in the middle. That's
you got the guy that hits the ball.
The one in
and
the
then you
front
have the
like
guy that
this.
sets it.
Yeah, the setter. There's the person, the people in the back. They bump the ball.
Bump, set, kill, baby.
Basically.
Bump,
So,
set,
Oh, big one here. Hamazi Goat, reading rap. Hamazi Goat is a PhD student in molecular biology, a leftist, and is endorsed by a CDC employee. He debunks a lot of pseudoscience. Cool. Yeah, I'll give him a follow. Let's do that right there. I'll do that right now. In fact, thank you.
That's the first time he's ever said that. Did you sprain anything, Dutch? Did you stretch up before you did that?
No, I just don't say thank you to you because you don't appreciate it. When I see,
Aw.
like
Yeah,
most normal people, if
Uh-huh.
Anna does something nice for me and I say thank you, Anna, she'll be like, "You're welcome." If Mikey does something clever or nice or great, which he does a lot of those things, and I say thank you, he's like, "Told you so."
Well, Dutch, if you didn't argue with me,
That's
every
because
step of
y'all
the
are
way,
brothers.
Arguing with you, look, Mikey
every
thinks
step of
arguing
the
with
way.
you means not complying immediately.
What's the difference?
If I say, "Okay, let me think about it," you're like, "Arr!" You turn to Scrooge McDuck.
not as giving pirate, because
Right?
that's what
Why
I
I got
heard.
it? Why I got given the pirate voice? Right?
See?
Like, why you got to do my voice like that? I don't like that. Voice.
Hey, oh, the firemen come. Oh no, they redid it. The Fettermen come to bring us radical socialism. Hey-o.
Oh,
Dishonest
here we
ape
go.
got you too. Yep. Gonna start telling Mike I'm not Dutch.
Yeah.
That's a good.
All right, Jonathan. You'd last a month in this circus over here, and you would be pulling your beard hair out.
Not the beard hair.
He has a very impressive beard.
You
And I had to
never
hit
know
him
when
where it
them
hurt.
hair is gonna stop growing back. Y'all need to keep them in.
Hey, real quick before we switch up here, thank you
Leave a-
to the people
leave
who
a-
are watching and the new subscribers or the new followers. No subscribers, you guys need to subscribe. It would be nice. But next week, a week from today, Mikey, will you tell the folks what we do on the day before Thanksgiving? Because you probably can talk about that more clearly than I can.
We have a party. We all get
Party.
together. It's an open room. Come in, take your shoes off, be cool, smoke them if you got them. But if you're smoking, you got to go outside. It's the only rules. And we'll cover politics in the show, and you guys can do an AMA with us. But it's our the holiday season is really bad for mental health for a lot of people. So Dutch is doing the Black Wednesday. I usually do every Christmas. I stream the entire day, so you guys have somewhere to go. You don't have to be by yourself.
Yeah, and we're gonna have I believe Ravana said she'll stop in, Drunken Idiots, Jock and Nerd, Gerald, Cole from Cole Sports. So we'll have a lot of other podcasters that will jump in. They might stay for 5-10 minutes. And they might stay the whole.
I want Imran to come.
Imran said he is doing a stream earlier that day, but he will come in after. So
I want
Tony might come too. Delhauer's coming for sure.
I was about to say I want Delhauer. I want Matt to be there.
Ray Reed is coming on, Mikey's buddy who ran for Congress in the St. Louis area. He's going to stop by.
That's the one candidate that wouldn't answer my text to the church question. He gave me a political answer.
He's probably got religious people in his family.
I don't give a fuck. Answer my question.
You can ask him again on things.
He can tell the truth.
Ooh, can you tell the truth, sir?
I mean, he can be honest. If that's his answer, that's his answer. He should stand.
So, you know, I have noticed. I will say this: I have noticed a few people when you ask them that question, they're like, "Oh shit."
Yep.
Because they don't want the churches to get mad at them.
Oh, Dishonest Ape just subscribed at tier 1. Thank you.
You're the best.
The first distribution of money that we get, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting it in the bank. I don't think we get paid till we get $50. I think we're probably at like 45 now because we've had a few.
All of our business.
No, I'm telling people what I'm going to do with it because I've been upfront. This is what I want them to fund. We are buying Mikey a chair. Mikey, show the people your chair.
That's inappropriate.
Mikey.
It's not a good chair.
Show us the chair.
He needs a good chair.
I have a standard kitchen chair. It's
okay. Yes. So if that's the case, why you can't show it to us?
Because Dutch is asking me to show stuff. That's weird. I don't want to start that trend with him where he thinks it's okay for me to show him
trend.
Things. You give him an
First it's the chair. Next thing you know, it's your toes. Like, where does it end?
It's a very slippery slope with me showing.
First it's the chairs, then it's the toes.
Next thing you know, he on only feet.
You're like, can you just lick your microphone? I'm trying to do a sound check.
Brent says he's got a chair for you, Mikey.
I have the issue I have. All right, since we're going there, I use a kitchen table as my desk because my kitchen table is so fucking big, it doesn't fit in my kitchen. So it's in my office, and I set up all my stuff on it. The only drawback is it's very, very tall, like very, very tall.
Okay.
I like it because it's nice to eat at if you're not like a hobbit. Like it's nice to be able to sit and everything's like at the right height for you. It feels good, but it's not great for working with. So when we have more space and I get a desk, not a tall ass kitchen table, then I can get a proper chair. So in time. I don't have room for a desk and this.
It's a goal of mine to get you a tall countertop height, like spaceship chair. I don't care what it costs. You deserve it.
You should care what it costs because I care what it costs.
Dude.
It should. I'm not spending $500+ on a fucking chair. I can get the fuck up and walk around for free. Like I gotta keep it a bean. We're trying to make it into the black over here. We're not spending our first money in the black on a fucking chair for me to just fart in all fucking stream.
Do we have a Lindsay stan in the Reading Rap? See, I know you were a Lindsay stan. Okay. But Lauren, you should stand Lauren too. Lauren's worth standing. But Lauren Hubbard is worth standing. But so is Lindsay. She's worth standing. And Attorney Anna worth standing. Me and Mikey, not worth standing.
No, you guys are worth standing.
I have my fan base. They're all
Come on, fan base.
They're all very angry.
Now, why are they angry?
Because this goddamn missile landed in fucking Poland.
Okay, crossover. I like the transition.
Decided to lead the briefing with a statement about these reports, and here's what he had to say.
And when it comes to force protection, we always take the safety and security.
God damn, he got a lot of ribbons.
Security of our.
That's
You notice their face always just be looking tired. Like they all got them same tired wrinkles. I be like, you must have seen a lot, sir.
Yeah, them debriefings really take it out of you. And he's a brigadier general. He's probably been in 35, 40 years. Yeah. You done seen some shit.
They're serving very seriously, and so we're very confident in any force protection measures that we take, whether it be Poland or elsewhere. But again, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves here. We're going to get the facts, and when we have more to provide, we will.
So as it turns out, they came from the Ukraine. Fired off by the Ukraine. They were Russian missiles, and they killed 2 Polish people. So we almost went to war because the initial reports came out that Russian missiles had killed 2 Polish people, and Poland is a NATO country, so that would have meant that it's time to nut up or shut up. So glad that World War III
didn't. Nut up or shut up. That is a good one.
Glad World War III didn't start last night.
Good thing.
Because
I had work today. I'm like, this is not a good time. I need a paycheck. This is not a good time for a war. Sorry, y'all. I just don't think can we do this next week in 10 years?
10 years is a little bit better for me. I got a little one on the way in March, so I'm gonna be real busy with this whole like parenting thing.
I am like, did y'all? You know what's interesting is that as much as Americans support Ukraine, I don't think that anybody is really willing to like go to war for it right now. Like we like, I'm so sorry that's happening to y'all, and it's unfortunate because it's like, you know, no one wants a war at their front doorstep. Ukrainians certainly didn't ask for, deserve, or want that.
Right.
But also, like, do we, just because y'all signed up, like, do we have to participate?
Yeah. If once we go one, we go all. It's a NATO thing.
That's why I'm
WW1, WGA.
Y'all better be real careful.
We're going to be out there.
All right, y'all.
Fighting the Russians.
You out?
Yeah.
What's your parting legal thought for the day?
My parting legal thought.
Let's give you center stage here. Hold on.
Let's give me
all your stands. Your stands need to see you.
I don't really have any stands, but to the extent that I have stands, thank y'all for standing me. My parting legal theory is this, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this.
Whenever you start a statement with that, you have already.
Okay.
Sounds
Come
like
on,
correct.
Read and Rap, Attorney Anna Stan. Thank you, Read and Rap. I appreciate that. So
Tons of mice, get ready to clip this. Go
here
ahead. Go ahead, Anna.
is no, don't.
No, you good. Go ahead, Anna. You good. You good. He's not paying attention right
You're
now.
gonna make her
legal
censor
thought.
the comment.
Same pardon legal thought. Pardon legal thought is the more you fuck around, the more you find out.
Correct.
Okay. And I think that is very clear legal doctrine.
That is Article 3 of the Constitution.
It is at the top of the Constitution.
Yeah.
It is like A. Before 1, there's A. And A says the more you fuck around, the more you find out. Conversely, if you don't fuck around, you'll never find out. And so I just want to leave y'all with those words. Never go out with eyebrows you'll confuse with the bird drones. Tons of mice. It's been months. It's been months, tons of mice. It's really been months right now.
We're experiencing the great camera migration up here in Chicago.
For the remaining 14 viewers, tons of mice is trying to make an inside joke with me right now, and I'm not accepting it.
You can't decline the joke.
I've declined. I have declined. I have sent you to voicemail.
Oh no, not the FU button.
But actually follow that and let that be a lesson to y'all.
Real quick.
The more you F around, you will find out.
Real quick, are you into watching these court cases, some of these bigger court cases that are out right now, or are you just like, I'm legaled out?
Sometimes it depends on the case and what's going on. Like domestic violence, I don't really watch that type of stuff. But other certain cases like defamation, sometimes I'm interested in that.
These Zoom courts are fucking hilarious. Oh my!
Zoom court is crazy.
Oh
but
my God!
As crazy as it is, I don't think y'all understand that in real life. That's how. I mean, people wouldn't obviously be in a bed or like wearing pajamas and stuff like that, but people really like court is for everybody. Like it's the equalizer. Like anybody that needs something, you're going to need something from the government. At some point, you might need to go to court. Everyone has to go to court. And that's when you start seeing who's exactly in your community.
Who's the everybody?
Who's everybody? And then you start seeing everybody.
Your boy Daryl Brooks got what was it? 6 or 8 life sentences concurrent, and then 17 years for each person that he hit. So that was like another 30 or 40 people.
He gonna be all right. All right, y'all. I'm gonna hang it up. Good night.
Good night, Attorney
Anna. Brent, if you're sitting there not doing anything, we'll hang out with you.
The GOP takes the House.
Yes, that was confirmed today. The question is going to be by what? And my math right now tells me 4. So not so bad. Good night, Canadian Alley Man. My math right now tells me 4. They're going to have a 4-seat majority. So not so bad. Easily overcomeable in a couple years. But there's a lot of vacancies in the courts right now. And that's like the main, the Senate to me was marginally more important. We just won't see any bills. There's nothing going to get passed in the next 2 years. But Biden did do credit where it's due. Biden did pass a shit ton of legislation in 2 years. So you got to give credit to that. People will say he did, in 2 years, they're going to go back and they'll be like, oh, look, he hasn't passed any legislation in 2 years. The reason will be because the GOP would not pass anything through the House. So, and if they do, it'll be like, cupcakes.
Yeah. Canada, I'm going to need you to go ahead and open up that border real quick. Or just look away. Just look away for a little bit. Yeah. Let me get in there and get a SIN number.
Take a Randy Horton's donut break.
You know what I should do? I should just walk in.
Tim Horton. Tim Horton. I keep saying Randy Horton's.
This isn't the Bears, okay?
Yeah.
I'll just walk.
It's a Kyle Orton break.
Yeah. I'll just get a Timmy's shirt and a ladder and just approach the border and just walk right through, because it is scientific evidence. If you're carrying a ladder, people will just open doors for you and let you walk through just about anywhere. There's a video of a guy, he got on a boat. He went to like one of those glass bottom boat tours, and they're like trying to help him navigate the ladder down the stair. Like, people will go out of their way to help a person holding the ladder. It's just, or a clipboard, one of the two. Clipboard and a hard hat, that'll work. Thank you, Read and Rap too. Yep, scientifically validated. And what did you mean with the Lil Yachty comment? Go ahead and explain that for me. I don't know what you mean. 100% of those people confirmed to the bench is top. Yeah. Are you leaving Twitter yet? Are you muted?
It's starting to become a thought. Like my Twitter information generally comes from Kim, from Kimberly K, one of our team members here. She's, involved in conversations with Twitter. So like she knows the top people there. She's fucking not happy. And I'll let her explain her own reasons as to why she's not. I'm not going to go into depth and try to secondhand what she told me, because I'll butcher it. But let's just say her mood is not pleased. And when she feels that way, I have to at least take notice, because she's like a Twitter stan, or has been, especially when it comes to spaces. So Elon is completely fucking this shit up. He didn't quite blow it up as quickly as FTX blew up, because that blew up in like a day. I don't know if you guys saw that story. We'll talk about that in a minute, because that's a crazy story too. But we have lost, like, our Twitter is down to about let's see where we're at right now. I'm gonna guess we're at about 6,500 Twitter followers. We are real time live right now at 6,569. And that's
Dig on
getting, at Dig on America. Follow us on Twitter at Dig on America, and that's with getting like 4 followers just today. Yesterday we were above that number. We were just about at 7,000. We were like just a little short, like 40 short. And I was getting all excited to hit 7,000, because I feel like the number looks better than a 6. Now we're down 400 something subs, or follows, I should say, on Twitter, which I don't know why that is, but it's happening to all of the left accounts. So I think it's a combination of they're purging some bots, but more so that people on the left are just leaving Twitter in mass. And that means we're going to have less followers. So, it's unfortunate, but you're seeing a big right-wing influx on Twitter at the same time, because right-wing accounts are growing. So much for censorship. You're down over 3K followers, Brent says. And now Brent has how many followers do you have, Brent? I want to say it's like 35,000 or something like that, Twitter followers. So for him to be down 3,000, that math probably is about right, because we're down about 400. So, and we're only at 7,000. We went from 6,900 to 5,500. Yeah. So he's saying that it's in that range. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's still a tool. I think we should utilize it. I'm not planning on leaving it, but I haven't been engaging with it as much over the past 3 weeks. So I don't know. What do you think?
What was the question? You went on for a while there.
I always went on for a while. That's what I do. About Twitter. What are you leaving Twitter?
No, I want to watch it burn.
You gonna go to Truth Social?
No, I'm not doing anything that anyone tells me to fucking do. Just because it's dumb shit.
That was a question, not a statement.
Just because it's dumb shit, fucking bought Twitter, having no idea how to do it. I'm gonna watch this fail. I'm not leaving. No, fucking fucking lose, dude. I hope you fucking lose. I hope you lose all your money. I hope you lose this company because you suck. Because Twitter is not that like crazy critical for me. It's just as throwawayable as Facebook. The only thing I do on Facebook nowadays is fucking go through my memories, laugh at dog videos, and then message my friends about when they want to play video games. That's about it.
Yeah. Kim was telling me about a place called Mastodon, which maybe we'll look into. I don't really know. I'm guessing it's an alternative. But like here's my biggest beef, and this has been my beef with Twitter for a while. And this isn't really a beef with Twitter. It's a beef with using Twitter as a growth tool. There are probably 10 or 15 people who are subbed and interact with this channel because of Twitter, and I appreciate that. But like, you would think that out of 7,000 people subscribing, you might have a couple more people who are like willing to at least retweet your candidate interviews, and they just don't do it, you know? So it's like,
which is why Twitter's useless.
You know, it's this whole, well, quid pro quo thing with Twitter. Oh, I'll follow you, but only if you follow me back. So like, we follow everybody back, because if you don't follow people back, people will follow you and then they'll unfollow you. So it's like, okay, I'll follow back. I don't care. It's no skin off my back, you know, so it's fine. But like, we don't go, I've very, very rarely gone out and followed anyone who wasn't a candidate from now on my Twitter. Yeah. I'll follow like LeBron James and, you know, Donald, or, you know, whoever's president or whatever. But my Twitter has only got like 1,200 followers. So it's not, I don't have a big account. The Dig on America account, I follow everybody back because I want the people to be engaged with our content. But they're not. And it's weird because like, I don't know what to do different, and I'm done kind of trying. You know, people just won't, when you're in a bunch of Twitter rooms with like, that are literally, Brent will tell you this, literally those rooms are there for candidate support. Like, you have people posting stuff and they do a great job, like trying to support candidates. And then you post in there that one of the candidates that you've been tweeting stuff for like the last 3 months is going to be on Dig on America tonight. Click this link. You can tune in. You can ask questions of this person and interact with them and support them. And like, 1 or 0 people do it. It's disappointing in the engagement level that those people actually have, because they're like, well, what are you doing for me? Dude, you have like 9 followers. Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't change the question.
No, you're right. It doesn't. But like, I don't know, like what is it they want? I thought you wanted to help change democracy or help preserve democracy.
What? People on the internet lying say it ain't so.
But they do it on the right, dude. Like, these right-wing guys, they are fucking engaged and committed to their people.
They're in a cult, Dutch.
Yeah, I think that is true.
Do we want our people to be in a cult, or do we want them to fucking be mad at us when they're actually mad at us, tell us that we're doing a good job, we're doing a good job? Like, if you want honest, like, feedback from people, then you get us and you pick us. But if you just want to fucking everybody just put on your Yankees caps and let's all go sing Yankees, like, that's what their side is offering. Do you want to be part of the cool kids club? And we're saying, hey, our financials are out of whack, we should really get a handle on this. Which is more fun.
Brent's here.
Which is more fun. They want fun.
Hey, Brent.
We're bashing and we're talking Twitter and we're talking about all the lovely groups that act like they're the total difference makers and really don't do a whole lot to help.
Yeah.
Say hello. Introduce yourself first. For the people
I'm Brent Henrich, former congressional candidate from Southwest Washington and Washington's 3rd that stood with democracy, and we took a seat in Washington third and flipped Y03 with the data that I figured out to say that it was possible, and it got done this cycle.
You did a great job. You're also the host of our co-host of our Sunday show. You are the DJ of that show with Lauren Hubbard. But Mikey, you
Lauren
were in the middle
Hubbard
of the thought,
that's
though.
running for mayor in Fresno, California.
Yes, that was. I was going to let him announce that himself, but
If somebody else put it on Twitter, it's out there.
that's true. I did see that tweet. Mikey, you were in the middle of a thought, though. You want to wrap that up, or
I
did
don't
you lose
know.
your train? No, but so, like, what do you think, Brent? Like about Twitter? What's your where are you at with Twitter now?
It feels like liberal and take your ball and go home mode, which is really pathetic, if you ask me. I think Twitter was one of my most effective tools in communicating with people. I mean, I would have people reach out to me and say that their friend that they met through, writing letters as a pen pal exchange, whatever, that lives in Sydney, told them whatever, and then they found me on Twitter because this other person, and people would say to me all the time, hey, I looked you up and I looked through your Twitter feed and wow, you all your standpoints are right there. I think it's a great messaging tool. And I don't think that just because some billionaire petulant asshole took it over that we should walk away from it. I thought the $8 verified thing was a terrible idea. The one thing that they did do right, go look up Kyle Rittenhouse. His blue check mark that he has now, you click on it and it says because he's a paid member of Twitter Blue, and that it's not because he's actually notable or anything that Twitter would verify. They walked back their threats to pull, my check mark and anybody else that had earned one. They were originally going to take those all away and then say you have to pay to get it back. They walked that back. But Elon's just an idiot and has no idea what can and can't be done. And he's in the FAFO right now of making promises he can't deliver on. But I don't think that means we should just run away. I really don't. I'm staying. I'm going to the fake Nintendo account where Mario yeah, I'll admit I downloaded that one. I'm like, I'll save that image for another day. Never know.
Brent is everyone on Twitter's brother-in-law. Tons of mice. That's fucking great. I love it. Sunday.
I love it.
That's a
Sunday
nice
show.
type.
They like the Sunday show. They like Lauren and I.
Why?
Oh yeah, beats the hell out of me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stay there. I think it's a very usable, interactive platform, and I have yet to see the algorithm suppressing discussion like everybody feared. When I log in, I don't follow. See, my thing is I never did I'm just going to follow you back because you followed me. I vet people that I follow, and I remove followers that are just the spammy bots. So I'm not getting their garbage that when they whatnot that kills my notifications. But I see people saying, "Oh, it's all garbage now." I'm not seeing that.
Brent, I'm happy to meet you here on Twitter. I hope we will be great, fast friends. I'm sure you've gotten that message before.
I get the DMs. I get the sliding into the DMs with the cryptocurrency. I'm just looking for love. I've gotten I just want the hell out of where I'm at. Will you marry me so I can get a visa?
Sure. Why not? You want
My
a
wife
you
has
want
a problem with it.
you want a US?
Yeah.
I thought you just wanted a Visa credit card. Okay.
No. They're looking
Here's
for
your
US.
Visa gift card for $25.
Yeah, exactly.
Good
I'll give you
luck.
that if you marry me. Marry
Yeah,
me for a week
let
for
me-
25.
Yeah, let me hop on to Amazon and order one of those up.
Speaking of crypto, though, real quick, I don't know if you guys saw this story. Let me share this here. So there is a company called FTX, and those of you who are NBA fans may know that that FTX is like they have the naming rights to the stadium. So here is the FTX website right now. This is their website for the company. Oops. Doesn't work. Nothing there. Totally gone, right? So the Washington Post story, before FTX collapse, founder poured millions into pandemic prevention. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but this company, I thought I had a different story up before. I must have lost it. You have some lawsuits going on. Tom Brady, Stephen Curry, Shaq, and Naomi Osaka among celebrities sued in class action crypto lawsuit for FTX. Long story short, this company was run by a guy named Sam Bankman-Fried or Freed. He's a very interesting looking fellow.
Fraud.
And he literally, apparently, from what I heard, he was worth $16 billion on like Friday and worth nothing.
And
on
zero
Saturday.
today.
Like, that is fucking ridiculous. He lost everything. The company went from, I'll let you talk 1 second. Let me wrap this up. The company went from worth 30-ish billion to -8 billion in 48 hours.
It's not volatile.
No, not at all.
Okay.
And the Heat Stadium, they're taking down the name already.
Okay. So I'm into cars. I like repairing my own car. I'm a BMW guy, whatnot. But supercars, I mean, I was a kid with posters and whatever in my bedroom.
Countach.
Yeah, Countach's, Diablos, all that stuff.
Ooh,
And
Diablo
right
SP.
now, the Gumball 3000 rally is happening. Gumball 3000 Middle East, and so all these supercars, whatever. And if you've ever seen a Gumball car, there's tons of presenting sponsors, and they have their spots on the cars like a NASCAR would. And FTX sponsored a portion of Gumball as, their advertising budget, and like half of the Gumball cars have taken the F off of it. It just says TX on their fenders. And I've been watching the videos of the YouTubers that, are on this rally. And it's just been kind of funny. Like, when I first saw it, I'm like, that logo doesn't look right. Well, I know the logo, but it doesn't look right. And then the news broke, like I saw the news break, and that's when I put two and two together, and I just kind of find it funny that there's, 70 cars driving through the Middle East with half a logo on them because they're like, yeah, we're not advertising for them.
They just took the T out, and now they're sponsored by FX, the TV station.
Yeah.
Check out your reruns of Sons of Anarchy at 8 p.m.
You want to check something out? The Chicago-based Home Alone house by Lego is done for my Christmas
cool.
background.
That is Christmas. I've driven by that house. It's not in Chicago.
And the OK Plumbers, Harry and Marv.
That's right. Oh, Harry is Joe Pesci's character's name. I always remember Marv, but I never remember that the other guy's name was that Joe Pesci's name was Harry.
The Wet Bandits.
The Wet Bandits.
Absolutely. That's W-E-T. Shut up, Marv.
I'm just curious of one thing. So, like, Mikey's a very techie dude, right? Like, Mikey's into like sound production and music and
Oh, you
video.
said tech. I
and
thought you said
game.
tacky. I was like, hey, fuck you, guy. I look fine.
That also might be true. But it may or may not be true. Listener, judge for yourself.
I look great.
But Mikey's a very tacky dude, right? I would think, like, if I were to have met Mikey and someone just said, "Hey, do you think he's into crypto or not? What's your bet?" I would have bet yes. It appears that I am wrong. You seem to be like not in for that at all.
No.
Mikey seems into reality.
What a
to me.
long amazing answer.
I think people should get closer to monosyllabic answers to things, because what else is there to say? No, I think it's a fucking Ponzi scheme. I think it's theft. I think it's fraud. I think it's fake. It's not. I mean, there was a time where people can make money off of it, but just because you can make money off of something doesn't mean that it's good or profitable for a society.
What do you think of
What
NFTs?
about blockchain in general?
Blockchain NFTs, it's a scam. It's a scam. Because you can't tell me that, well, if I do this artwork NFT, every time that it's sold, everybody makes money off of it. How? It doesn't. You just say that because you want people to buy shit for a ridiculous price so that they can sell it for a ridiculous price. There's no guarantee that anybody wants your fucking bullshit. What? Because you got a video of somebody making a dunk in the dunk competition? Did you see that? And they NFT'd his dunk?
No, I didn't see that one.
Like, they're making everything an NFT. And that way, if everything is an NFT, that means nothing is an NFT. So it's useless.
Okay, wait. So here's my thing with this, is that there's this weird concept where people want to sell these digital items for real money, but people want to buy the digital items thinking they're going to go up in value in what? Real money. Like, that's my thing that I'm like, I don't get it. Like,
where's the connection to real money come in? And then there's no string.
And that's the only thing that gives it value. Like a Bitcoin. I remember, sorry, I just got a weird text message. That like a Bitcoin. When
Hi,
I was
Brent.
in
Happy to have met you here.
No,
we shall be fast friends.
No. But like a Bitcoin, when I was in my apartment before I met my wife in 2005, I remember my roommate, he was like, hey, we should get into Bitcoin and we can get coins for like $25 or something stupid. Or maybe it was $5 or maybe it was $200. I don't remember what his number was.
It wasn't
but
a million.
It was like, oh yeah, it was definitely not in the millions. It wasn't whatever. It was like, oh, we should get. And then I remember seeing videos. I bought a Lamborghini because I sold my Bitcoin, and I screwed up because I sold my Bitcoin and it's only going up and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, I never bought it, but I never, yeah, I'm sure a lot of millionaires were made. But the fact is there's a finite amount of resources. How many people were broken in the process of phantom money? That's
enough.
You don't
and look how much
create
real
it
money
out of nowhere.
And look at with this as it's falling. And I'm not saying it's dead. I'm not saying that. But because I don't know. But like there's a lot of real life money that's being lost with this along with crypto money.
Funny, it seems like some people are losing their real money to other people. It's almost like that's the whole scheme. That's why everyone is out there trying to make their own coin so they can take all of your cash, give you a bunch of gobbledygook, run on a bunch of fucking graphics cards. And thanks to fucking Bitcoin miners, you're the reason why the graphics card half the reason the graphics card shortage happened. So yeah, all for what? For you to just trick people out of their money? Why you got to fuck up the graphics cards? You could just trick people some other way, some more traditional way. Maybe with, I don't know, pulling some rabbits out of hats or something. Maybe a vaudeville show. I don't know. Do something that requires talent as opposed to just talking to a bunch of 20-year-olds to give up their fucking life savings and their inheritance from grandpa and dumping it all in. I have one friend that made quite a bit of coin, but guess what? He's fucking out. He made his he got what was it? He put in
on NFT or on crypto?
Crypto. He put in 15. He put his whole life savings in, and then he dipped at 101. And he got the fuck out of there.
And he's and you know, the stories
I don't
like that,
question that happened.
I'm fine with.
Yeah,
I
it's good for that and that only. But now that bubble is gone. You're like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but
again.
what about the person that bought his 101 and isn't even going to get 15 out of it?
That's
what I'm saying. Is that
that's the nature.
Capitalism
of
doesn't
the
care
game.
about that, though.
I know, but that's the problem with selling a vapor product, is that all they do is create hype, sell it, and none of the people that are creating it are staying with it, and they move on to the next. I mean, look at Elon. Let's go back to Twitter. Let's go to Tesla. Let's go to he'll hype something, and legions of people will run there, and then he's over it, and then he walks away, and everyone's like, oh, there's no hype here anymore. And the whole thing falls on the idiots that ran over there. And I'm sorry, that's what you are when you're taking investment advice from a celebrity. You are an idiot. You're a useful...
Damn you, Matt Damon.
I mean, you're the greater fool.
When Eminem is making songs about NFTs, that's when you know it's time to get out of there. Reading rap.
Oh, did he? I didn't realize he was making songs about NFTs. But still, yeah, I'm not taking investment advice from Eminem.
What do you think though about the people suing the spokespeople like Brady and Curry and Shaq?
No, they're useful idiots.
That's the dumb tax. You got to pay the dumb tax sometimes when you make bad decisions. You got to pay the dumb tax.
But if you sponsor, like, let's say Tom Brady did an ad for like a shitty pair of shoes, right? It turned out those shoes sucked. Are you going to sue him because your shoes were bad?
Absolutely.
Like, where's the line?
It's Tom Brady. Of course, I'm suing him.
In Tom Brady's case, you should sue him, right?
Tom Brady can cross the street in front of me and never touch my vehicle or nothing. Just go across the crosswalk. And I'm suing the shit out of him.
Yeah, I agree.
His shadow ruined the paint on my car.
The concept of a paid celebrity spokesperson being responsible for a company's actions because they read a script in front of a camera is bullshit.
Couldn't be me.
They did their thing. Now, what I have heard is that some of those celebrities bought up that bullshit and dumped their own money into it, and they're getting fucked just like everyone else is.
I think from the report, that's what was happening. Like, they're suing because their money is gone. Like, their investment.
Well, the way Jason said it was that they were getting sued for being spokespeople.
Let me pull
That's what the article says here. So the article says, I'll read it real quick. I won't put it on the screen. The class action suit filed against FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried and a number of celebrities who endorse FTX, a crypto trading company, included Tom Brady, Steph Curry, Naomi Osaka, all named as defendants. In addition to Brady, Curry, Osaka, Shaquille O'Neal, David Ortiz, Shohei, I know how to say this, guys. Shohei Ohtani. I don't know how to say his name. The Angels outfielder. I know who it is, but I forgot how to say his name. Udonis Haslem and Trevor Lawrence are all named as defendants. Brady's ex Haslem. It's a basketball player, right?
I know who he is. It's like, what the fuck? Boy, you better keep your coins.
Brady's ex-wife and supermodel Gisele Bündchen and comedian Larry David and Shark Tank personality Kevin O'Leary are also named in the suit, as are the Golden State Warriors, a prominent partner. The suit alleges that Bankman Fried or Fried, F-R-I-E-D, I'm not sure which it is,
Okay.
and those celebrities promoted and encouraged others to invest in FTX, which the lawsuit describes as a fraudulent scheme. The lawsuit claims FTX was, quote, designed to take advantage of unsophisticated investors from across the country who utilize mobile apps to make their investments. Last sentence, FTX filed for bankruptcy. Bankman Fried resigned as the company's CEO on November 11th, a day prior to announcing FTX's bankruptcy. Bankman Fried sent out a multi-tweet thread on Twitter, beginning with an apology and saying he had fucked up and should have done better, and referred to himself as not a good developer. The lawsuit seeks $11 billion in damages.
From his negative $8 billion net worth?
Yeah, good luck.
Like,
well, that's
where's
the
it gonna
company.
come
The company's net worth is $8 billion. Or they owe their debts, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what I highly doubt that Bankman Fried has $0 in his bank account right now, right? Because like what he had in crypto is gone. I'm sure he transferred some of it to like his Chase account, or he has capital assets like a house. So I highly doubt he's a pauper. But after the lawsuit, he may well be. Maybe he should run for office and protect himself. That's the way out.
Just say
He'll
you're
run
running
for
for
president.
president, and you no longer have to answer to anything.
That's all he has to do is he has to run for president, say we hate immigrants, CRT is being taught in the schools, and this is all a witch hunt, and he'll be fine.
Yep.
Yeah, Haslam has been on the bench. That's why I'm like, you need to you don't invest in nothing. You pay your bills. You pay your bills. You leave the rest in the account. Do not let that. You have no no play with money.
I know what you're thinking. How does the joint stay lit in the hamster's butt? Very well thought. Tons of mice. Not sure what that has to do with it, but it's a salient thought nonetheless.
The Senate did something good.
Senate did something excellent.
Same-sex marriage legislation clears key Senate hurdle. Well, this from the Associated Press. Washington. Legislation to protect same-sex and interracial marriages crosses a major Senate hurdle Wednesday, putting Congress on track to take the historic step on ensuring that such unions are enshrined in federal law. 12 Republicans voted with all Democrats to move forward on the legislation, meaning a final vote could come as soon as this week or later this month. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said the bill ensuring the unions are legally recognized under the law is chance for the Senate to live up to its highest ideals and protect marriage equality for all people. What say you, gentlemen?
I think that's great. I'd love to know. I need to know who the 12 Republicans are, because I'd be interested to know if they were either just reelected the other day or if they're retiring.
Let's see. I don't know if it.
Good point. I haven't looked into it. I knew it was 12, but I did not look at who the 12 were.
That thought literally went through my mind when Mikey was reading that. I was like, who are the 12 Republicans who are going to now be told that they are, because of course on the right, just supporting gay marriage means you also think boys are girls, girls are boys, and you go by they, them, which is okay. Of course, is not true. There's nothing wrong with any of that stuff, but the right conflates it. And they're certainly not the same thing.
Here we go. I got it here. Maine Senator Susan Collins, North Carolina Senator.
That one's not surprising.
Tom Tillis, and Ohio's Rob Portman. Those were the first.
I think
Tillis
did Tillis one just retired, and that's whose seat. What's the lady's name who was the North Carolina Supreme Court Justice who was running the African
Sherry Beasley?
Sherry Beasley was just lost that election barely. I forget who she lost to, but I'm pretty sure that was Tillis' seat. I think he's retiring.
Let's see here.
Could be wrong there, but
the other Republicans who voted for the legislation were Senator Richard Burr of North Carolina, Todd Young of Indiana, Shelley Moore Capito of West Virginia, Mitt Romney of Utah, Joni Ernst of Iowa, Roy
Mitt
Blunt.
Romney voted for gay rights.
That's
marriage?
yeah, but wait, Joni Ernst.
Yeah. Roy
Don't
Blunt
read
of Missouri.
Michelle Bachmann's name.
Cynthia Loomis of
All over
Wyoming.
dead.
And Lisa Murkowski and Dan Sullivan of Alaska.
Yeah, Lisa Murkowski is probably done. Is she still losing? I know she was down a little bit to another Republican.
Don't know.
I'm looking.
That's a top 2 race, by the way, in Alaska. So it's 2
No,
Republicans.
it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's if you don't get 50%, it goes to runoff.
Right, because they have
no,
ranked
not
choice.
to runoff. It goes to ranked choice.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that is different than a top 2.
No, you're right. You're right. But they are the top 2 is what I meant.
Correct.
It's going to be a Republican. Not like the Congress.
Yes, but Lisa Murkowski, so Kay Tshibaka is at 43.3. Murkowski is at 43.1. And then below that, the Democrat is at 10%. Murkowski is only behind by 565 votes. And the 10% of
The Democrat, they probably put her second.
Democrat is 24,013, and they probably have
Put
Lisa
Murkowski as 2.
Murkowski as her number 2. And I would assume that the Republicans that voted for B. Kelly 2.9% probably also may have had her so she may get saved by ranked choice voting.
I like ranked choice voting. It's
don't.
confusing. It's confusing, but I think it's interesting. They do it on a state level in I think it's Connecticut. They do it in Alaska, and I think there's one other state.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Nebraska, yeah. So, and Nebraska also is for a red state, you got to give Nebraska credit. They try to make things fair. They not only have ranked choice, which you can have an opinion either way about, but also they're one of 2 states that actually breaks up their electoral votes, right? So like them in Maine are the only ones that do that. Every state should fucking do that, in my opinion. You should get the electoral. So like even California, if the Republicans get 20% of the vote in California, they should get 20% of those electoral votes. Because if you did it that way across the country, Democrats at this moment in time would almost always win the presidency. But that will not always be the case though either.
Yeah. But I don't agree. Well, no, that's just saying popular vote wins. If you want to change the electoral part, then what you have to go with is by congressional district, how that district voted. And that's what Nebraska and Maine do, is they use their congressional districts. So they follow basically, in my race that if Marie won, that this district would be a blue electoral vote right now.
Right.
But seats 4 and 5, Newhouse and McMorris Rogers, would be red. So instead of our 10 electoral or 12 electoral votes going Democrat, we would get 10 Democrat, 2 Republican. And it wouldn't matter how lopsided the wins are. It wouldn't be an even breakdown, because even in the bluest of blue states, the Republicans still get 30 to 35, 40% of the vote. So, California wouldn't be 20% red. It would be if they won 20 districts, they would get 20
Right, but that goes both ways, because as we saw the other day, even Alabama, Arkansas, all those states, Chris Jones, and the other Democrats running for governor, they were finishing in the high 30s, right? So you're going to get those votes from there too. So I think that we need to elect the president by popular vote. We cannot do that. We cannot get rid of the Electoral College without a constitutional amendment. You have to pass a constitutional amendment to do that. However, and that's not going to happen, right? The Republicans are not going to do that. What you can do, though, is you can make the Electoral College, you can change, I believe you can write legislation to change the Electoral College. You just can't
states are
take it away, right?
But
you have to get all the states to do it.
But there's a multi-state pack that is enough for electing the president that right now says that their electoral votes will go to the popular vote getter in the country. And I can't remember how many states it was. It was 35 states, and some have adopted it, some haven't, but it won't be triggered until they have enough to control the Electoral College. And that's all legit, but that's where what's the pending constitutional amendment? It's the
ERA.
The ERA.
The ERA that whatever that is timed out, that whatever in Tennessee or whatever got to be the one to not ratify it, and then somebody ratified it late, but then it's that's what this is always going to be, unless you can get Democrat control in some of those states and they jump on and adopt it when, in a landslide year. Otherwise, it's just wasting breath discussing it.
Yep.
Well, it's not wasting breath discussing it. It might be wasting breath in introducing the bill, because it's not going to pass. You're never going to get 2/3 of the states to pass a constitutional amendment to get rid of the Electoral College, because 2/3 of the states are red, right? So, and they know that if the system wasn't the way that it was,
they're not. 2/3 is not. We have 50 seats right now, and on our way to 51. They're not.
No.
2/3 red.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If you look at would you say Nebraska is a blue state?
No, but they don't have a blue senator either.
Right, but just because you have right now 50% of the Senate, 51% of the Senate is blue, that does not necessarily mean that those are what you would call blue states. They are, a lot of those states elected Republican governors and a Democrat senator. And in almost all of those cases, especially like Wisconsin, the legislature is controlled by the Republicans. So, you've got a lot of different dynamics.
But that's gerrymandering. That's the gerrymandering problem.
Yeah. In Wisconsin's case,
that's the fact of them drawing it to do that versus that's where I say, okay, governor's elections and United States Senate elections, those show you how red, purple, or blue a state is, and they show you incumbent bias because they are truly statewide races. You end up with a blue governor in a red legislature state that's got super majority veto override, whatever. Right. That's gerrymandering. That's not what the people wanted. That's them pulling a Louisiana and saying, okay, we're going to put all the black people together in this district that live spread out of this area, and we're going to carve out this district, or pulling a Dan Crenshaw district of whatever. It's that's where the gerrymander comes in. And you look at any of the explainer videos that's like, okay, you've got, 60% blue and 40% red, but you can draw that map so it's 5 blue seats, and you can draw that map so it's 4 red seats and 1 blue seat.
And that's the
depending on how you lump them.
That's the problem with the way I'm going to say this is probably going to start in the beginning going to sound a little bit wrong, but I'll correct it as it goes. That's the problem with like Democrats living in urban areas, right? Because that's not to say that the urban areas shouldn't be blue. There's a reason why urban areas are blue, because it makes sense for urban areas to be blue. But when you are looking at it as a legislator, you can literally say, okay, all of the surrounding areas are red. So if I draw the lines through the urban area, right, then I can eventually cut it down enough where the outliers outpopulate this tiny little sliver of the urban area. And, if you look at Mikey and I have actually done it before. We've gone through and looked at electoral maps, congressional district maps that are just like, the shapes are just astonishing as to how they came up with these things. They look like stick figures. They're so bad.
Yeah.
I agree, but go ahead, Mike.
This is all pissing in the ocean until we get a constitutional convention. So that's why I try not to get too bent out of shape about it these days. Because I think that day will come. Because everyone my age and younger thinks this shit is bullshit and it's not fair. That who you vote for, that vote doesn't count. It goes to the electors, and the electors decide by just like we don't like that. It seems uniquely un-American to us that we have an electoral college. And I think probably my kids' generation, I think it'll be gone. But for now, we're
I
fine.
sure hope so. I mean, even for people on the right, like if you're a Republican and you live in California, you literally vote for the Democratic president. It's the case for Democrats in red states. It's the case for Republicans in blue states. And that's highly problematic. And it's literally like taking someone's vote away. You're saying, oh, I know you voted for the other guy, but you're ultimately your vote's going towards Joe Biden, or Trump, or whomever the case may be, that you didn't vote for. And it's such an archaic system. And
but that brings up the point. That brings up the point of it is archaic, because when we were founded, you couldn't get people to move around as easily and as rapidly as we can now. So it semi-made sense to say, okay, you're going to vote in this block, and then these people are going to represent your state. And as the state goes, your vote goes. And it was the best thing they could come up with for, state-run elections, and the state person's supposed to be honorable and report accurate data, that allowed this whole thing to go. It's a matter of that it's broken down a couple times, and it's all been recently. It's been in epic fashion. And then we had a fascist asshole that tried to exploit it, like not even just let it break down like it did in 2000, not even, like it did in 2016, where he actively tried to exploit it. And that may be the straw that motivates people to fix it. The next generation to say, hey, we're not going to tolerate this. But right now, there's people that are like, oh no, this is exploitable, so we're going to hold on to it. There is a whole class of people that don't care what anybody else thinks, which makes me think they're against elections. But they're saying, as long as I get it my way, I don't care. I don't care how dirty it gets or where we have to go or what we have to throw out. I'm okay with it.
And I don't know who started the rumor or the trend. Like as soon it's like in high school, people are like, oh, I'm going to go vote for the first time, blah, blah, blah. But then when it's like their first election, like out of high school, they kind of get that, well, wait a minute. I want to vote for this person. They're going to lose anyway because the rest of the state is so rural. Well, this is stupid. Why should I even vote then? Because I already think that my state's going in a certain direction or this election is going a certain way. Why should I even vote? Because my one vote in this area doesn't really matter. And that's it. So the gerrymandering becomes a deterrent for young people. You know what I mean? It become the way the electoral college makes it so that you don't really have as much at stake because you don't really have as much to say about what's actually going on in the world around you. So,
okay, I'm going to jump in with a short story. So I grew up in Portland, Oregon. I now live in Vancouver, Washington, across the river, 15 minutes from where I grew up. But Oregon and Washington went to primarily and then entirely vote by mail before I ever was of voting age. So the first vote I ever cast for president was in the Gore-Bush campaign. But I remember being younger when Clinton was running against Bush 1 and driving home. I can't remember if it was Cub Scouts or where we were coming from, but it was election day. And I remember my dad getting really pissed off as the results were coming in for Clinton from the East Coast stuff. And my family was all supporting Clinton, but my dad was mad because they were like, oh, Clinton's going to walk this through, whatever. And my parents had put a bunch of effort into a down ballot race in Oregon of something they really believed in. My dad was just furious because they were basically calling it, and the West Coast people were being told, yep, you don't need to vote anymore because the East Coast is and the Midwest has sealed the deal. Don't worry.
Right.
And it's, those things also. It's not even just that, oh, my state's going to go red, so why vote? It's that people are being told the race is over. There's no reason to vote. And now we're seeing, what's his name, Adam Frisch against Boebert in Colorado's 3rd, where they're trying to cure ballots and trying to pull out a potential miracle. And we're seeing lots of very tight races this year that should be telling people your vote counts. And if somebody wins in a landslide, it's because a lot of people thought that person was the person they wanted. And so your vote counts. You need to vote, no matter if you think it matters or doesn't. They add up. That's like saying this piece of cash I have in my wallet is wrinkled and saying it doesn't matter and casting it aside. No, it's still money. It when you put it with other wrinkled money, it adds up.
When you put it with crypto, does it add up?
No.
Y'all gonna try to get mad at the chef, at Chef Curry, because y'all fell for the crypto scam. Come on now.
You got to blame the black guy, or in his case, the half black guy.
He's black. What you talking about?
He's black. Really?
Yeah. You
Steph
seen
Curry?
his mama?
No, I know they got
Seen his
divorced.
daddy?
But I know who Della is.
Yeah. You look just like.
All right. So do we have anything else tonight, or are we good?
Thanks for hanging out, HR. Appreciate you.
I'm good. I just wanted to join on the Twitter debate. It's one of those things that it goes to ceding ground in the conversation that is just so much of, I'm going to take my ball and go home now. And I think that liberals do that a little too much.
Yeah.
And we need to stand up and
They
fight
act the
back.
same way on Twitter as they do with voting.
And or
it's the
joining
same
live
mentality.
streams.
Yeah. And for joining live streams. All right. So we'll raid someone as we play our outro little Maybe we'll play our video out. Mikey, do you have any parting words that you would like to share?
No.
Jeez. It's good to have you here, Mikey.
Oh wait, I have a
Yes.
parting thought.
Yeah. Oh,
God.
really?
Oh yeah. Oh
Really?
yeah.
Already?
Already. Oh yeah. Take it in. Just
Thankfully,
drink in the Christmas.
thankfully, my cats will destroy all trees, so I don't have to worry about that.
Thankfully, I
Wow.
don't have a cat to destroy my tree.
All right,
I'll
we'll
send you
do a
one.
raid here. And stick with where we go. I'll just pick one when I hit the button.
I got it. Hold on.
Um,
I know somebody who needs a raid. There we go. Okay, I got it. Boop.
and as we do that, we'll play our little 2-minute outro video that I made that Mikey doesn't like.
You're welcome.
It's okay to say you're welcome. Where is it?
I deleted it.
Oh, there it is. No, I didn't.